Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's knows some things make zero sense, like why the algorithm knows your music tastes better than you do. But zero sugar and full flavor? We made that make sense with new Welch's Zero Sugar. All that passion fruit or tropical punch goodness and none of the sugar. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
This week in Gans, Oklahoma, it's a family affair when a threatening quickly turns into a kidnapping, which then turns into a very cruel torture and murder session with very unlikely participants. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, wow, Jimmy jumping in there. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Very excited, Jimmy, today. Jumping the yay, and I love it. I love the enthusiasm, and I understand why, because we have a wild story for you today of just, this is like a blow by blow of a terrible, just an awful group of people. This is like a Coen Brothers movie, these people. It's disturbing. It's really,
I always mix those guys up with the Farrelly brothers.
Yeah, very different movies. I mean, Raising Arizona, funny.
And Stuck on Me.
Funny, but different funnies.
Stuck on
say.
You? I don't
Imagine
know.
if the Farrelly brothers made Blood Simple or Fargo, though. That would be...
Much different movie.
Now we're talking something very weird that I don't know if I want to see. But anyway, thanks again for joining us. You definitely want to get, if you have not done it yet, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live and get your tickets to the virtual live show. It's October 26th, so if you're listening to this early, it's coming out. It's available for a week after that, so you can order it at any time. You can watch it 100 times.
Hurry up.
Anywhere on Earth with an internet connection.
Right.
I was going to say Wi-Fi, but I guess if you wanted
Could
to go
be either.
old school
You can
and
plug that motherfucker
plug it
in.
right to the wall, you can do that too. I don't know, whatever. I don't know how that setup works
However it
anymore.
works.
But do it and come see us. It's our Halloween special. We have everything, a weird show and weird story and costumes and the whole deal. So definitely do that. shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live. And as well, you want to head over there to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get tickets to December the 2nd.
Oh, boy.
In Dallas.
Yeah.
Big show in Dallas. We cannot wait. Come out there. Represent yourselves well. I guess Southwest. They say Texas is always Southwest, but it's pretty South Central.
It's pretty well right in the fucking
Right
middle.
in the middle.
Yeah.
It's always, I think, just because it's deserty.
And it takes up like a third of that area.
Anywhere that looks like Arizona, they say Southwest.
Yeah.
I think
there's
is
a
how
lot
it
of
works.
dust.
It's
It's pretty Southwest
dusty
to me.
here, right?
Yeah.
Southwest. We're going Southwest.
Your eyes are squinted. Mine are too.
Yeah, oof.
Southwest.
Sunny, unforgiving, definitely.
Miserable.
Definitely do that. You also certainly want Patreon. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above. It's a cup of coffee,
It is.
a mere cup of coffee, but instead of one lousy cup of coffee, it might not even be that hot. It might be
not even
lousy.
really be coffee.
We're going to give you something that's always hot and fresh. Patreon. And for that, you're going to get a couple hundred bonus episodes to binge. It's all there. And then in addition to that, new episodes every other week, including this week, which you're going to get is for Crime and Sports, which you have access to. We're going to talk about, it's another part of athletes who pay for sex. We did that as the part of the series a few months ago. We're going to continue it, and they're very funny. Guys getting caught for that. Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to go back a few weeks to Manhattan, Montana, and that serial killer, the guy who was the first FBI profile and everything else, the David Meyerhofer.
Yeah.
And we're going to delve deep into his confession.
Get his words about it.
He spilled his guts completely, said what he did, and then went and hung himself. So there you go.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
That's it. So we'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all that. And you should listen to Crime and Sports as well anyway. And also your stupid opinions.
Oh, shit.
Which is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Not to toot our own horns,
Yeah.
but toot, goddamn toot. It's
Beep,
funny.
beep.
So check it out. Do that. And keep coming back and seeing us. Quick disclaimer.
Yeah.
This is a comedy show. We're comedians. Terrible murder is going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And also jokes are going to happen.
Absolutely.
But we're going to do it tastefully. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
We go out of our way not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why, James?
Because we're assholes.
but
But we're not scumbags.
There it is.
That's how it works. So if you think true crime and comedy, though, should never, ever go together, you might not like the show.
Yeah.
You might, though. That's the thing.
don't know.
You don't know about it. But either way, no complaining afterwards because we warned you.
Yeah.
That said, everybody, I think it's time
Sure.
to sit back,
Let's have it.
clear the old lungs, and
Give it
let's
to me.
all shout,
Shut up and give me murder.
Let's do this.
How
Jimmie.
about that for everybody that bitches
Let's
that
go.
we're never on time?
Yeah, we did that on purpose because normally we just don't care. We have fun with it.
And the other thing is there's
we
a
might
bunch
say
of
it
other
different.
people out there that do
Yeah,
it too. And
that's what we do.
You're
So-
never going to be on time with both of us.
We do it.
Yeah.
We a long time ago we were like, let's do it like jazz, where
Yeah.
we're just like we'll go
Skitty-bop,
free form,
yeah.
and you never know how it comes out. This
Right.
time we're like, we're going to do it together, and people can stop talking. So
There you go.
There you go, everybody. So that said,
Yeah.
let's get into this.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, everybody, to Oklahoma.
Go,
Oh boy, and this is far eastern Oklahoma, right near Arkansas.
Does it touch it?
It's Oklahoma and
Holy.
Arkansas abut each other here.
Yikes.
And that's quite the
That's
quite
a-
the gauntlet to run.
It's a bizarre Mary.
When you drive the 40,
Yeah.
that's where you go. You go from through Arkansas,
Right through it into
through
it.
Oklahoma, then through
guess
the
I don't
panhandle
see
of
it.
Texas.
Like, it's that close.
It's right there. Like all the stuff to do here, a lot of it's in Arkansas. Like people will go out to dinner and let's go to Arkansas for dinner. This is about 2.5 hours to Oklahoma City, so way far away. An hour and a half to Tulsa, and 2 hours to McLeod, which was our last Oklahoma episode,
my.
which was the Atomic Wedgie Killer.
Oh, Jesus.
Which no one can forget that episode.
Had
'cause
no idea you could die like that.
he died from an atomic wedgie. This is in Sequoia County, area code 539. The motto here,
Oh, boy.
small town,
Yeah, big fan.
great people.
Oh,
I really wanted it to be small people, great town. This is just a town of little people. That would be amazing.
I'm their king.
Small people, great town.
That's what I would say anytime I'm in a town of small people.
There's a thing when you come into town, it says you can't be...
You must be this high.
You can't be this high to enter this town. Only shorter. That would have been very interesting.
A lot of tilt-a-whirl signs all over the place.
Unfortunately, that's not the town. So it was originally, within the little history, the Sequoia district of the Cherokee Nation. Mm-hmm. Then at this point, though, it was just a dispersed rural area. It still is. There's nothing here. That's the other thing. But back then it was called,
oh boy,
this is the best town name ever, Jacktown. Yeah. Jerketville. Yeah.
Yanktown.
Yeah. Spankburg, USA.
Tugsville. Let's get after it.
Holy shit. Then it became known as Gan, Gann. Now it's Gans, but then it was Gann after the brothers who were Charlie, Tom, and Swimmer. There was
first name Swimmer.
A grown man named Swimmer.
Swimmer Gan.
Swimmer Gan. That was a real person that existed in time.
Gross.
Then they
that
named
means
the town
his dad.
Swimmer. This one's a swimmer here. That's right. I had a lot of whiskey in me. Didn't think I could put one in her, but I had a couple of swimmers in me, and one of them got through.
Somebody told me name him after myself. So I just named him after my jizz.
I named him after the one that got through. The one that busted through the line for a 20-yard pickup.
How can you do that to your kid?
Charlie, Swimmer, and Tom
Unbelievable.
Gan. And then it became Gans for some reason. I guess there was two places named Gan.
Okay.
This happens so often. They never did any checking.
Yeah.
There had to be a book back then that said all the town and post offices.
There should have been a list.
Look it up. Oh, there's already one of those. No one bothered. They just called the town whatever they felt like. So then they decided to switch it there. In the post office established in 1896 was renamed. Then it was called Gans.
Yeah.
So that's how that happened. The growth in the early 19th century, agriculture.
Yeah.
That's it. It was
in Oklahoma.
They're growing shit there. And, this was till the Dust Bowl.
Right.
They grew shit, and then the wheat market got huge, and everyone would speculate on wheat, and they were selling off everything to wheat, and then they had no ground cover.
There's nothing else.
And then the dust blew, and that was what happened there. And that's how you create an ecological disaster. Oh, shit, we ruined everything for like a long time.
As history has shown.
That was bad stuff, yeah. So either way, it was big through there, and the railroad came through, so they could take all their shit out of there. In 1900, the population stood at a stout 136 people.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. So that's something.
In 1931?
1900.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
136. Wow. But by 1911, it's booming. They got a bank, a couple of cotton gins, a sawmill, 6 general stores.
Oh, there's a grist mill around here somewhere.
3 doctors, 2 drugstores, 2 blacksmiths, and a restaurant.
And how many people?
136. So by
For 3 doctors?
1911, I think they had a few more than 136, but not a ton more here.
3 doctors.
They had a little newspaper there and all that kind of thing. By 1957, in January, a terrible, devastating tornado came through, which is going to happen every once in a while there. That's the thing. Anything you're doing in Oklahoma is temporary. It's all temporary. At some point, it's all coming down, and you know it. We don't know when.
Wasn't around to ride that tornado out of town.
It's happening, and J.J. Watt's not going to come save you. It's going to be a problem. So they came through. It killed 8 people, injured 11, and inflicted $100,000 worth of damage, which in 1957
That's all of it,
is a lot of money. So by 1980, the population was up a lot, Jimmy. 346 now. Yeah.
80 years to get 200 people?
That's right. By 1990, the school district had 250 people in it.
Shit.
Oh, that's what I'm saying here. Now, the one guy is from here, famous person, Bryant Big Country Reeves.
Is that right?
You might remember from being a huge disappointment in the NBA, just a big...
Big Country was from here.
Big white center with a flat top there.
Played for the Grizzlies. Did he play for Utah, too?
He might have. He bounced around. He was a big man that bounced around at the end.
But he
there.
And Greg Ostertag, oftentimes, I mix them up.
Yeah, he's the lighter-haired version of Greg Ostertag there.
Flat tops.
I think he was better Big Country than Ostertag.
He was tough,
He could score a little bit.
Tough as
Ostertag
shit.
could not score for shit. He was a big stiff. So he had gone to Oklahoma State University and then made a lot of money.
Yeah.
He donated a city hall building in 2002 after he retired and returned to live in Gans.
Get the fuck out of here.
He came back to this little town and said, "I'll give you all a building." Be nice to me now.
He's a king there, then.
Oh, he is well, Jesus Christ. Think about it. Everyone there is, under 4'8",
Yeah,
and then
right.
he's 7'2",
Right.
number one. So, I mean, they're going to look up to him anyway.
And his name was Bryant with a T. What a weird name.
Yeah, like Bryant Gumbel.
Right.
So,
bizarre.
By 2000, a hearty 208 people here, and everybody would commute out of here because there's really nowhere to work in town. And they had a kindergarten through high school.
They should just make the NBA.
But yeah, why? I mean, Jesus, be 7'1". What's wrong with you, lazy bastards? Grow, lazy. I tell my kid all the time to grow, and he just sits there. He just don't do it.
Stubborn ass.
Stretch out, boy. Come on. Let's go. And my son never listened to me. So reviews of this town. There's only one review because there's really nobody here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this is one where you'd pass through and go, is that a town?
Does
you
it
wouldn't
say
even
all
stop.
hail Bryant Reeves?
It says, well, yeah, they're naming it Reevesville after this. So 5 stars is the one review. Everyone know each other.
Oh, boy.
Everyone is vert friendly. With a T, vert.
Oh.
Vert friendly and ready to help each other out if they are in need. There is the correct there.
They got it.
They got it.
They can't get everyone knows each other.
No, they don't understand. The plurals and singulars get mixed up sometimes.
Wow.
And all that sort of thing, S's. And our town is very small. We don't have any restaurants, but it's home to many good people.
Okay.
So there you go. They like if you want a quiet rural existence, this is a good place for you. If you
make millions of dollars and
can go wherever you want.
Want to be a king.
Yeah. If you'd like to go out to eat, this is not the place for you. Population right now, 336.
Fucking wow.
Not a lot.
This is the town that everybody forgot.
Yeah, it's just this little, you drive by it like it never happened. Few more males than females, which is not normal. It's 52.5% male. That's way out of whack. Median age is 42.2. A little bit old, but that's all right. A little bit older than not old, but it's our age. But, in our ballpark, Jesus, we are old. But I mean, not like, holy shit, everyone here is 73.
Not gray balls yet.
No, not yet. Not yet. So 17, there's a lot of people here single with children. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on here. Race of this town, 54.6% white, 1.8% black, 0% Asian, 21% Native American. Which
that's awesome.
It's usually 0.7%.
Is there a 21%. Reservation nearby?
Well, it used to be the Cherokee Nation around here. So if anybody hanging around, and this is where Oklahoma has big pockets where there's a lot of Native Americans. 3.3% Hispanic, 17% 2 or more races. So people are mixing up there. That's good. Religion of this town, 37% religious, and there's mostly Baptists, which I wouldn't even know that's a. Yeah. But they're, it's right by Arkansas, so that makes sense. 0.0% Jewish here. In the Sequoia County, in the last election, 19.7% of the people voted Democrat, 78.7% Republican, 1.5% Independent. Unemployment rate's about average in the country. Median household income, a little bit low, though. It is $48,701, which is a little bit under the national average here. Cost of living also less than the national average. 100 is regular. Cost of living here is 78.
Okay.
The housing is a 26.
Well, it fucking better be.
$140,800 is the median home cost here.
I want to see Big Country's house.
I think that's the one that's driving it up to that. Everything else, not worth much. But Big Country's house really takes it over the top. So if we've convinced you, you cannot live anywhere else except Gans. Maybe you were retired from the NBA and you'd like to donate a court building or something. Maybe a new post office.
Maybe you love waking up to the sound of tornado sirens.
You know what? Let's put up a nice mayor's house just so everyone can see it. We have for you the Gans, Oklahoma Real Estate Report. The average 2-bedroom rental here, $790 a month, which is $500 below the national average. That's pretty low. Here's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,870 square foot house. So you could put some kids in there and have a family. 1.5 acres. A little bit of room to stretch out. It's a disaster. I'm not going to lie. It looks like if someone was squatting in there, you'd go, is that safe? Sleeping outside might be better.
You'd be worried about it?
The roof is flaking off. Oh, boy. When you see just pieces of the roof all around the house, that's a problem. I feel like that's an issue. The carpet looks like it is it's of the mildew variety.
Oh, no.
It's a nice mildew.
It's stiff.
not stiff. It looks like if you stepped on it, it might squish.
Oh, don't walk around
It
with
could
that.
be spongy.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Not in your socks.
I don't think the roof is holding the moisture out. It's a problem here. But it is $89,000 for that house, though.
Roof and floor, you might be in business.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you put a new roof on it, it might be something.
Yeah.
So, and you rip that up, maybe there's something nice under there.
There might be hardwood.
Even concrete.
You don't know.
Can lay some laminate over it, you're fine. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,157 square feet.
Okay.
So a little bit smaller, but it's a trailer.
Yeah.
A really long trailer.
4 bedrooms. That's enormous.
It's like a dachshund of a trailer. Like it's a wiener dog trailer. It's huge. It just keeps going and going. Half of the trailer has windows, and then the other half has no windows. It just looks like they run out of window budget, and it just stops halfway through.
Put more metal up there.
No more windows.
All
We
right.
ain't having it. It looks like half of it's like a storage garage or something. On the inside, though, it looks like a nice house.
Really?
You can't even believe you're inside of a weird long trailer with no windows on
I got a friend with one of those in Idaho that you're shocked that it looks so nice.
The kitchen looks like it's in a beautiful house. You're like, what's happening in here? Why did you invest this much money in a trailer?
Did I walk into another house? What just happened?
What kind of weird science experiment did I just go through? $115,000 for that. And then here is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,686 square foot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big cabin.
Oh.
It's a big cabin. It looks like a piece of shit on the outside. Looks like it's a little... It's not going
shabby,
well. Yeah, it looks like it's a little shabby. Maybe a mountaineer lives in there or something.
right.
But then inside, it's actually kind of nice.
Palace.
It's, again, nice. People are really investing a lot. It's got a weird rock thing in there.
Oh.
Not terrible. We'll say that. It says here, beautiful architect's custom home is what they call it. It's a special thing.
Does it have land?
On 30 acres
There
of
it
wildlife paradise.
Oh, my God.
30 acres all to yourself. $479,000 for that.
What?
It's not bad for 30 acres, but you're living in the middle of nowhere, and those acres are just dusty. The wildlife is, I don't know what's in there, honestly, but...
In Oklahoma? That close to
deer and
Arkansas?
shit.
There's crazy shit.
Yeah, there's deer. There's all sorts of shit. You're by the woods, I'm sure. Things to do here. All right, it's Halloween time, so we'll get
$400,000 is the highest price.
$479. That's what we got.
Holy shit.
30 acres. That's it. Yeah, Big Country's not selling his house right now.
No, I wouldn't.
I'll keep you updated when his house goes on the market, and I'm sure it'll blow us all away. Things to do. It's Halloween, the Wicked Willow Festival.
Wicked Willow.
Wicked Willow.
Yeah.
It's presented by Super Fun Time Sequoia County.
It reminds me.
And they have a pumpkin patch.
Super fun time.
Super Fun Time. Super fun,
like an
number
Asian
one,
fireworks
like an Asian buffet. There's ones in Phoenix like that. They're like super number one USA buffet, and you're like USA China buffet. You're like, okay, we get it. Thank you. They have a pumpkin patch, pumpkins for sale.
Yeah,
photo scenes.
Oh,
take your pictures with pumpkins, everybody. A wicked trail ride, quote unquote. Ride if you dare.
Oh, so shit jumps out of the woods.
Across 17 acres of wicked trails and spooky scenes. Oh, boy, that's going to be fun.
Oh, what a nightmare.
Wicked House of Horrors. Explore over 1,000 square feet. It's more like a wicked apartment. Wicked 2-bedroom apartment of horrors is what that is.
The wicked condo.
Yeah, I had a small, that's super wicked townhouse.
Come through the psychotic townhouse.
Yeah. Holy shit. The Townhouse of Terror is coming. Wicked animatronics, decorations, and live actors. Oh, good. You get people who are just dying to get out of this town because they want to act. And
it's essentially a square of a Spirit Halloween store.
Yeah, it's their Super Bowl, though. They're ready. The Jelly Ball Zombie Shooting Gallery.
Oh.
See if you'd survive a zombie invasion in this interactive zombie apocalypse shooting gallery.
Do I get to shoot
I think
zombies?
You get to shoot zombies.
I want to paintball some zombies.
That sounds like fun. Jelly balls, probably softer paintballs.
Maybe like airsoft.
You can't just send dudes out there and be like, they're going to shoot you like kids are going to empty the whole thing on you. Like it's going to be rough.
I'll build it. If somebody will do it and go out there and take the paintballs, I'll build it.
All this a little scary for you, Jimmy? Maybe the Townhouse of Terror is a little too much for you? Well, try the scare-free bouncers and slides.
Okay.
For the little ones.
Yeah.
The scare-free inflatable bounce park.
Nobody will jump out covered in blood with a chainsaw?
That's it.
Okay.
Then there's also the Spooktacular.
All right.
The Spooktacular is run by the same people, it looks like, and they have the same shit. A pumpkin patch, jelly ball bullshit, but this is grab your friends in battle. So this is you shoot each other.
Oh,
with jelly
Jesus.
balls. And the Haunting of the McPherson House.
F-E-A-R.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Then there's also the Diamond Days Festival, D-A-Z-E.
Oh, we're getting stoned?
This has nothing to do with Halloween. Yeah, this is going to be like Cheech and Chong are making a comeback on this one. It's going to be one of those. It's in Salisaw, which is right the town right next door here. Annual outdoor event that brings residents and visitors together for entertainment, food, and fun.
Yeah.
Celebrate warmer weather with music from headliner Crossroads.
Damn it.
Who the fuck is that?
Nobody.
Okay, I didn't know if that was like the Britney Spears movie.
I don't know.
That's not good.
They're actually Bone Thugs. They just don't know.
Oh, okay.
They didn't know the name of the band. They just put up the...
It's the rest of the chicks from the Britney Spears movie rapping. I believe they're doing entire Bone Thugs albums. I believe that's the
and
theme,
they call
right?
It Crossroads.
They call it Crossroads because that's a real crossing of different things. It's super different.
Come on out and see the band Sweet Child O' Mine.
Yeah,
no, that's called Guns N' Roses, guys.
No. They don't play Guns N' Roses, though. They don't play Guns N' Roses.
Sweet Child O' Mine, and it's actually the name of them, and they just play songs with the word "sweet" or "child" in it.
It's actually the cast of the Danny DeVito movie War of the Roses. And they
Singing
play
Sweet Caroline.
And they play the soundtrack from Young Guns. That's what's Guns N' Roses, and that's what it is.
And Hot Child in the City.
Hot Child in the City. Carnival rides. Yeah. Holy shit. The event will also feature arts and crafts and children's activities. There's a 5K, a car show, a barbecue competition.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. This is amazing. You know what happened this year, though? Well, this past May... Quote, a high-speed chase could have been deadly Saturday, but Salisaw police captain and an officer drove into the suspect's vehicle before it crashed into a festival crowd, according to police. Somebody tried to plow into this festival. It's terrible. The Diamond Days Festival is held on the first Saturday in May with live music, food, and events. Many were said to be outside enjoying festivities and in the path of the suspect's vehicle. According to the police chief here and the captain, they were working the festival when they were told the pursuit was headed their way. Quote, Captain Weber and Officer McGirt were the last lines of defense before the suspect vehicle would have entered the Diamond Days event area. Captain Weber at that time decided if they didn't have any other choices besides disabling the suspect vehicle, so they did. They said they took it out, and just before it crashed into a giant group of people eating like funnel cakes. And
Crossroads are lucky to be alive.
Waiting for Crossroads. Crossroads was doing their sound check, and they're like, what's happening? Jesus. The hell's going on here?
McGirt? Is that what you said?
McGirt.
That's what the Officer
McGirt. Captain Weber and Officer McGirt.
Wasn't that
Dirt McGirt.
ODB's alias?
Dirt
Dirt
McGirt. That's my motherfucking name. Yeah, that's ODB.
Hilarious.
So, crime rate in this town, well, we're generally focused on here, is property crime slightly above or below average. Just below average. Just about within the margin of error. Violent crime, though, murder, rape, robbery, and, of course, assault. The Mount Rushmore of crime. It's about 20% under the national average. So
if you hit that fucking
pretty safe
festival, it would have been way higher.
They could have shot this thing through the roof. That would have been in Salisaw.
Give
them our crime rate. It ain't none of our fucking business. Salisaw, that place is crazy.
It's dangerous.
See their numbers? Shit. Watch Crossroads, boy. It gets people amped up.
Take your life in your own hands.
That said, let's talk about some murder, shall we?
All right.
Okay, this is wow, this is a wild one. Okay, we have every once in a while there's a narrative that goes where they just beat by beat of the entire murder, and those are always the most disturbing ones because
when you know so much.
Yeah, when someone was watching it and gives a detailed blow by blow, it's almost like Baraboo, where you're like, because you're living it with the person.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a lady first. Okay, let's talk about Lois Nadine Smith.
Okay.
Now Lois, she doesn't go by Lois; she goes by Nadine.
Yeah, I would too.
And she earns the nickname in high school of Mean Nadine.
Oh.
Yeah. She's not. Yeah, this is.
I was waiting for something dirty.
No. Mean Nadine.
That's not good.
Fuck with Nadine. Yeah. And her life. She's got a weird life, as we talk about here. She's born in 1940.
Okay.
And she's got two brothers. Her father was a plumber/electrician, so a blue-collar guy, and a preacher.
Oh.
Yeah, so he likes to...
He's busy every day.
Yeah, he's always... Yeah, even on Sundays, he's no days off here. Mother was a housewife, and like I said, in high school, they nicknamed her Mean Nadine, which a girl in high school, I mean, that's the mid-50s, for Christ's sake, with poodle skirts and shit like that. Like, what was mean back then? She smoked a cigarette? Like, that could have been anything.
Was her name Sasha, the chick from Greece?
She told the girl she told the guy he's not allowed to finger her.
Yeah.
Cha-cha, whatever.
Sasha
or whatever.
McGirt.
Yeah, McGirt. Cha-cha McGirt. You remember him trying to steal John Travolta away.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that's essentially what, if you look at history, historically, the girl that's mean just takes other chicks' dudes, right?
I guess, but I don't.
Or is she just running around kicking people in the pussy?
I think I think that she's a pussy kicker from way back. From way back, yeah. The townhouse of twat terror. That's what they called it. They called her that.
She would just
kicking.
pop out and kick pussy all day.
Pow! And she goes, ha! And she runs away.
Was that Mean Nadine?
She's like,
I think it was.
See you in math class, bitch. And she runs. People are like, man, that Nadine is mean as fuck. Yes, she is. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
We don't know how she got Mean Nadine. She in high school, though, she must have been doing something. She marries a man, though. Okay. She gets married in the late 50s here. She marries a guy named Jim Hork, H-O-R-K, Hork Smith. Okay. He goes by Hork.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the sound of a duck?
I'd rather go by Smith.
Yeah.
Out of those three names, Hork is by far the one you want to bury in the back, I would say.
That one's bad.
I'm Hork. Nice to meet you.
He goes by that like a first name?
If someone said, how you doing? And you go, my name's Hork, you'd go,
what?
Hork? You'd make that face and go, Hork? Did you say hork? Pork? Fork? What's your name? I've heard other orcs, but...
Pork? Fork?
Mork from orc? I don't know what's that. Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know hork. That's... Because it's not a word you've ever heard before.
Right, because H and O together make like it's a bizarre... It's not like a natural thing. And then you put an R and a K together.
Hork.
None of those letters naturally
It doesn't go
fall
to
out of
Hunk?
the face.
Is it Hunk?
Yeah.
Are you mistaken when you said your name? Is it not Hork?
Remember Back to the Beach when he was like, call me Surly. They're like, Shirley?
Yeah, it's yeah. Exactly. I refuse to accept that your name is Hork.
I can't do Hork.
It's weird.
It doesn't go together.
So they have 2 kids together.
Okay.
And Nadine ends up having another kid at some point, but they have 2
Mean
kids.
Nadine wasn't so mean to one man.
One guy, no. Well,
Yeah.
she does shoot him at one point.
Oh,
here,
Jesus.
So, yeah, that's not the murder. Don't worry.
Maybe it's because he makes her call him that name.
That's just in passing. Well, a man named Hork must be angry, I would say. So he's probably hard to deal with.
It's a tough name.
They have 2 kids, James Gregory Smith, and he goes by Greg. So everybody, again, going by their middle name in the story.
Fascinating.
Then they have another son named Hork.
No.
He named him Hork.
Oh, boy.
And he gave one kid his first name and the other kid his middle name.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. He tried to double junior up on us.
Can't
That's
do this.
ridiculous. Now, the marriage to Jim Hork Smith, he goes by Jim. So Jim is the dad, Greg is the son, and Hork is the other son.
Wow.
So the marriage between Mean Nadine and Jim Hork over here, it was a tough marriage from the start.
Really?
I mean, they were just like a mess. Jim's a heavy drinker, first of all. Loves to drink back then in the mid-'60s and would beat the shit out of her all the time, which obviously is terrible. But in the mid-'60s, too, was considered...
That's part of life.
It was considered kind of in a weird... It was oddly societally accepted in a strange
you don't
way.
Keep your house in line,
Man,
James?
Jesus Christ. What's wrong with you? Yeah,
maybe hit her time or two.
Jeez, maybe...
You say she burned dinner?
She did what now?
Why is she walking?
Jesus Christ. She's still on the phone? I mean, you could hit her with it and probably that'll get her off.
I called you twice. Busy signal both times.
Don't like it.
This is bullshit.
Ain't paying for call waiting.
You better beat that woman.
That's it. You better hit her with that phone. So, no, he's beating her and he's also mean to the kids.
Terrible.
That's according to her. And according to him, he fully admits that he was a heavy drinker who would beat her. I don't know about if he was mean to the kids or not, but she's always had a job. She always had kind of a steady job. She would attend church regularly and that sort of thing. So she kept an outside, somewhat of an outside facade of everything is fine here. And in the mid-'60s, I mean, Christ, that was still a time when people who were born in 1940 would fucking put dress pants on to mow the lawn. This is still dress pants mowing the lawn time.
What a time.
This is wild shit.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Well, look at these kids with their long hair now. Like that's what was going on.
I took a shower to get sweaty.
Jesus, I had to take a shower. I put cologne on. I put Aqua Velva on to come out here.
Came out here and started the harassment.
Mow the damn lawn. That's what happens. So Jim, while they're married, they were married about 18 years, these two. In 1965, Mean Nadine shot Jim Hork with a .25 caliber gun.
Yeah.
While the two of them
had enough.
Were drinking and arguing, according to them.
Yeah.
Now, this is such a fucked up relationship that Jim goes, I mean, it ain't all her fault.
I had it coming.
Literally, he said, I did beat the shit out of her during the course of the marriage. In fact, broke her leg on 2 different occasions.
Broke her leg.
Separate occasions.
Broke bones.
Separate occasions.
More than once.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
And there's rumors of a broken arm at some point, too.
Oh, my God, man.
So that's a lot of limbs being broken.
You break somebody that much, they're bound to shoot you.
They're going to shoot you. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He was like, I mean, she shot me, but
I can't believe she didn't shoot me when I broke her second leg.
He's like, I mean, that's obvious. It's going to happen. I mean, I expected it one of these days. That's a wild relationship when you're like, I mean, she shot me, but I mean, I get it. That's a lot.
I'd have shot me too.
At the time she shot him, she had a restraining order against him.
He shouldn't have been there anyway.
So I think it was. She came to him though. That's the thing. There is no. It's like she has a restraining order. She came over, but then they argued, so she shot him. But he said they were like wrestling for the gun. It wasn't. She didn't be like, yeah, motherfucker.
You got to be a special piece of shit to
this
be like
wild.
She had a restraining order, but she came to me and shot me, and I still deserved it.
And I kind of still deserved it a bit, yeah. Because the things I got the restraining order put on me for that warranted a bullet or two. I'm not going to lie.
Special piece of shit.
I ain't going to lie. I mean, broken leg, gunshot wound.
Wow.
It was a flesh wound. She didn't shoot me in the head or nothing.
I'm ashamed to share a name with you, Jim.
Sometimes just to hit me in the leg.
Yeah.
I said, watch the arteries, and she'll just flesh wound me.
I'm thankful he's going by Hork because he doesn't deserve a Jim.
This is the type of dude who'd be like, this is what he'd be into in sex. Shoot me. Shoot me. Give me a flesh wound so I can come.
Shoot me in the pinky toe.
Just do it. Come on, so shoot it off. Jesus.
I'm engorged.
She also, if getting beaten up and having her leg broken and all this a couple of times isn't enough, Mean Nadine's also involved in a very serious car accident in 1966 that rendered her unconscious for a few days and gave her some brain damage as well.
Shit.
She shot the guy before she had brain damage, though. Okay. So this is this is afterwards. This is, we already have a,
And now she's scrambled her own eggs?
And she's, a little bit. She's making.
One car accident or like a two car? Do we know?
It was a one car over medium, I feel like, is what happened here.
One car sunny side up.
Sunny side up, yeah. So they divorced, thankfully. These two should definitely not be together. No.
A long time ago.
He's an alcoholic that beats her up, so they shouldn't be together. And she's willing to shoot him over it, even when she has restraining. The whole thing's a mess.
They got along twice. Their names are James and Hort. That's the only time.
And that might have just been.
And that might not have been.
You don't know that.
That might have been grudge fucking.
Yeah,
Who
that
knows?
might have been just for out of some sort of to get him back or something.
Might have been somebody's birthday. We don't know.
That's, you know what? Yeah. It's fine.
It's Christmas.
Who knows? Christmas is a big time for fucking.
Christmas is the time of year.
That angel on the tree's making me horny. Get over here.
Leaving it in, yeah.
Leaving it in. It's such a sweet song.
It really is.
It really is a nice holiday
It's
tune.
horny.
It's nice, yeah. Makes me want to make a hork. Makes me want to make up a hork. So they get divorced, and they're divorced for a little while. Now, let's catch up with everyone in 1982.
Okay.
So everyone's she's 42, Mean Nadine, and she's lived quite the life so far.
And we got grown-up kids.
Yeah, by now we have kids that are 17. One's 18 years old.
Okay.
He's born in 64.
Okay.
So at this point, he is 18 years old.
Yeah.
Greg here.
That's 16.
No, because it's 82.
Oh, 82.
82.
Got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Jim Hork, Dad, is remarried by now.
Okay.
He's married to a woman named Robin.
Yeah.
So Jim and Robin have their own thing going on here. Now, Greg has a girlfriend, young Greg.
Yeah.
He's got a 19-year-old girlfriend named Teresa Baker DeMoss.
Okay.
Now, Teresa, she's down for a little while anyway, Teresa here. She has an interesting relationship with Mean Nadine.
Oh.
Also, she lived with her boyfriend for a little while here with Greg in Mean Nadine's house, and she was allowed to live in the house, but this is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Not allowed to eat meals with the family. Like a dog.
Yeah.
Like you're not allowed. Even that's just weird. That's
Her
weird,
table's
right?
on the porch.
Yeah, you eat in your room.
Where do I go?
Who? Imagine having someone stay in your house who, not like a stranger, not like a boarder or
it's
something.
Your kid's girlfriend.
Your kid's girlfriend. She ain't allowed at my table. What a weird setup, right?
Yeah, I can understand leave the door open if you're in the bedroom together, but what does she think she's going to get pregnant at the dinner table?
I think Nate, this is just from the whole story, the macro view of it that I got here, it seems like Mean Nadine doesn't really want her son to be close to a girl a lot.
Oh, okay. A little overprotective.
A little jealous.
A
little possessive of that. I think that's what it seems like.
It's a bizarre mother-son relationship.
Yes.
And it's overbearing. Yeah.
Oh, it's Fratelli Brothers level weird here coming up. It's fucking weird.
Which brothers are they?
We've
already got the Coens and the other ones.
They're the Goonies brothers.
Okay,
with Mama Fratelli and the bad guys in the Goonies is what we're talking about now.
They're characters, not directors. Okay.
Not directors, no. These are actual movie characters. They hang out with the Coens and the Farrelly brothers.
The bald guy and the guy that lights the fire.
And the Zucker brothers, too, the airplane guys. They're there as well.
They're pretty fucking good.
They're funny as shit.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so this is a weird There's a weird dynamic in that house here. And you know that she's willing to shoot a person, too. So
yeah,
you don't want to cross Mean Nadine.
And she's got her eggs scrambled, so who knows what's going to set her off.
This is my mom, Mean Nadine.
Yeah.
My dad done beat her up, broke her leg a few times, so she shot him, and she don't like you when you're not allowed to eat at the table. I'd be like, I'll sleep outside, thank you.
And she hit a tree.
This is, and she ain't quite right in the head, so... be careful.
Tread lightly.
Now, he's got an ex-girlfriend here. Greg does, who's 20 years old.
Greg is swinging.
Greg's doing great for himself over here, which in this town, there's not a lot of people, so I think that helps.
Yeah.
Whatever girls are available, it's like that the American Hollow documentary where they were like, she's a 16-year-old girl and he's a 16-year-old boy and they live in the same holler, so
what's the problem?
Might as well be together. So I don't know if that's the case, but Cynthia Lucille Bailey, and Bailey is Baillie.
I don't like that.
That's a strange spelling of that. You'd go,
that's uncomfortable.
One more time? Yeah. That's Bailey? Jesus Christ. So Cindy, she goes by. She's 20. She has a 5-year-old daughter, by the way.
She is how old?
20.
That's
has
illegal.
A 5-year-old daughter named
not
Brandy.
In Oklahoma, it's
that
not.
Poor,
right.
Jesus. I'm not.
What the fuck, man?
I feel
she gave birth when she was 15.
When she was 15, that's what I mean. She could have been pregnant by 14.
Oh, my God.
Which is just, rough. And the crazy part is, from all accounts, she's a very good mother at 20 somehow. So, some people can do it, but that's obviously not the best path for Cindy's life for success. Just
because you have the skills doesn't mean you have the means. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's fucked.
Yeah,
Poor thing.
that's hard. That's really hard. So it's different. So young Brandy is the little girl, 5-year-old girl. Now, apparently, they had broken up, Cindy and Greg.
Okay.
And there are all of these rumors flying around town. This is a small town to the point of rumors can fly around everywhere.
Love it.
And there's rumors, and Mean Nadine picks up on these rumors, and Greg tells Mean Nadine about some of them, that Cindy's going to get him back at some way. Going to get Greg back for not being with her anymore, for fucking her over, for banging Teresa, who knows.
Leaving her alone to raise somebody else's kid.
That's whatever the case is. But she's going to get back at him, and there's rumors from Mean Nadine and from Greg or they've heard, that Cindy is going to either tell on them for something, like drugs, like wait till they have some drugs and then tell on them about that and do like a big rat thing, or some other way to get them arrested. Or there's also rumors that she has been trying to find someone to have him killed as well.
Oh.
So that's in their mind. Okay. It's not confirmed. This is just rumors flying around a small town. She said she's going to have you killed.
Yeah, but if there's any truth to any of that, that girl is just running. She doesn't have time to work or raise a baby.
That's what I mean.
That's a lot of things she's just quote unquote saying.
Yeah, she's arranging a murder. Yeah. She's setting a guy up.
She's busy.
She's Donnie Brasco. She's an informant. She's fucking.
Keep an eye on when somebody's got weed.
Jesus, this is a lot going on here. Have you heard they have drugs? Okay, hold on. Let me contact
I'm going to call the authorities and my hitman.
Wow, I got to get everybody there. Well, I'll get the hitman first because I want him to do his job before the cops come. That'd be good. So this all comes to a head July 4th.
Okay.
So 4th of July.
Yeah, that's a party day.
This is the night of the 3rd. So early morning of the 4th.
Yeah,
middle of the night.
We're not working tomorrow.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. So middle of the night. Here we go. Okay. Mean Nadine and her son Greg.
Yeah.
Come and pick Teresa up at 5:30 a.m. on July 4th.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the Nadine said that they were going to, quote, I don't know what this means at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Quote, go boogieing. What the fuck? I'm like, okay, does she mean dancing? Like the 70s, like we're going to boogie? But at 5:30 in the morning in a small town? Where the fuck are you boogieing?
What does that small town shit mean?
I don't know. Boogieing, apparently.
It's got to be like hunting.
It's got to be something
noodling.
like noodling. Yeah, I was going to say, you're sticking your arm in a crevice it shouldn't be and trying to pull out an animal, I feel like, right?
Whether it's underwater or not doesn't matter.
You're pulling dinner out of a hole in the wall, I feel like, right? That's the goal here. yank dinner from the earth, I think, just somehow.
That's hillbilly drive-thrus is what that is.
Extract lunch from this wall. So that was what she said. So all groggy-eyed, here's Teresa, 5:30 in the morning.
Let's go boogieing.
All right, I guess I'm hungry. I suppose we could boogie.
I need breakfast.
Wow. So the three of them drive to Gore, which is another town.
Gore?
Gore.
Oh, my.
And they stop where? At a motel. Obviously.
We were going boogieing and we need a hotel?
Now we're going to a motel.
Okay,
Certainly not a hotel. Let's not go crazy here. I believe this is the Sequoia Motel that does not exist anymore.
Is that right?
No, it does not exist anymore. There's a Days Inn fucking Sequoia. That might be the
on the lot
spruced up version of it. Yeah, I don't know what it is here. But they're going there and they're going to a motel. And they tell her, it's the Tahlequah Motel. Tahlequah Motel, Tahl, Tahlequah. So they're going there, and they tell Teresa, we're going there to pick up Cindy Bailey.
Okay. Cindy's there, too.
Yeah, which is odd.
That's Greg's
Why would you pick?
Yeah.
So, hi, girlfriend. We're going to pick my ex-girlfriend up with my mom.
Right.
My ex-girlfriend the one that she said that I think she's trying to kill me or have me set up. We're going to pick her up.
Is boogieing when you watch your son have sex with his ex and current girlfriend?
I think boogieing is watching your son have a threesome. I think that's it. There's another term for boogieing when you do that and diddle yourself. That's a totally different thing. But if you don't get any sexual pleasure out of it, but just enjoy watching it, it's called boogieing.
A child's boogieing is when they pick one and wipe it on your cheek.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they were going to do. We're going to go booger up this town. Wipe it on garage sale signs and shit like that. Shit. So they drive to the Tahlequah Motel, and they say they're going to go pick her up, and Cindy Bailey is in one of the rooms with a guy named Tommy McGowan. Okay. Now, all right. They step in, I guess. Yeah. Teresa and Mean Nadine steps into the hotel room.
Right.
And asks, everybody's awake at 5:30 in the morning, by the way.
Why?
And not like up and at 'em, up from the night before, looking for shit to do.
Still ready.
Still up.
Let's go.
She walks in and asks Cindy, hey, you want to come party with us? It's 6 a.m.
Does party include,
are we boogieing or what are we doing?
Reading the newspaper, having a coffee, and smoking a cigarette while I get the cold out my eyes?
Have an orange juice and a bagel? Is that partying? Because that sounds pretty hot shit.
Bagels and lox. Let's get after that.
I could go for some cream cheese right now here. So do you want to come party with us?
Yeah.
Which seems strange. So at one point, while they're in the motel room, I'm sorry, hotels, I don't mean to besmirch
Never make that mistake.
Never do that. Cindy Bailey asks Teresa, Greg's current girlfriend, what's going down?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what's going down right now? Are we going to boogie or what?
Yeah.
A lot of people calling each other turkeys left and right in this equation, I feel like. A lot of jive turkeys
floating
around.
70s shit flying around.
A lot of
1982.
82 was still the 70s, though.
Yeah, in Oklahoma, it's 71.
It's 70. Yeah, they just got it. Like, you hear Sabbath? That shit's crazy. They just got it. Yeah. That's the middle. It takes, from both coasts, it takes a while for culture to seep to the middle.
To get to the middle. That new CCR is great.
They're like, man, Woodstock must have been amazing.
I heard this war in Vietnam's kicking off.
Jesus Christ. I said, Nixon, why didn't he just throw the tapes out? Like, Jesus Christ. They don't know what's going on here. They're all mixed up in their time. So, yeah, what's going down? I think, definitely a little behind the times. So what's going down? And Teresa told Bailey, quote, it's not cool for you to get in the car.
Okay.
Which this all sounds like code. We're going boogieing. What's going down? It's not cool for you to get in the car. What does all this mean?
I'm frightened.
But apparently Cindy told her that she can take care of herself.
Okay.
Don't need your advice, little girl.
What a fascinating group of people to be around each other at 5:30 in the morning.
That's the thing. I was going to say, all of this is happening at 6 a.m., which makes it so much weirder.
Yeah.
In July, the sun is out. It is bright outside right now. There's
blazing.
No night at all. This is like, you're like, are we getting Egg McMuffins or what?
Yeah.
This is real early. So, Mean Nadine, Greg, and Teresa, they pick her up at the Tahlequah Hotel, and they get in the car. Like we said, I'll take care of myself. So, all right, fine. They get in there. They start driving away. As they're driving, Mean Nadine confronts Cindy and says, I heard rumors that you're trying to arrange for Greg to be murdered.
Okay.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that true? Now, Nadine and Cindy are in the back seat, and Teresa and Greg are in the front seat. Greg's driving. It's his car. Okay, so she's in the back seat, which is kind of trapped in a trap with this Mean Nadine.
Right.
And Mean Nadine's like, so you want to kill my son?
Right.
Which seems very uncomfortable. And I'd be flashing back to when the girl said to me, it's not cool to get in the car.
Right.
Like, not cool means
That's
this
what
lady.
she means.
This lady wants to fucking
scrambled eggs. A husband shooter with broken legs and arm is now threatening me.
She seems pissed off. So they're all there. As they start down the road, they're headed back to Gans. Teresa and Nadine then start asking. Now Teresa jumps in. They start asking Cindy, why did you snitch on Greg's brother Hork?
Okay.
Yeah, you told on Hork.
What is happening?
You're fucking ratting on the Horkster over here. And you ratted on Hork, and you're, quote, trying to set Greg up. You're setting Greg up. You're not boogieing at all.
How badass is Cindy?
You're a jive turkey, basically, at this point, is
yeah.
what they're saying right now.
So,
watch out. So she's saying that, and they're like, so she's turned around, Teresa going, why'd you do this? And Cindy's turned to her this way, and she's, in the back seat.
Cindy's like, none of you are making any sense.
This doesn't make, I don't understand. What's going down?
Yeah.
What's going down right now?
This car is very uncool.
Uncool, man. It's not chill. So Cindy denies making any threats. Didn't say I was going to tell on anybody. Never made any arrangements to kill him. I swear to God, nobody's on their way to murder him. This is, I don't know who you heard it from, but it's all small town rumor horseshit.
Some fascinating stuff that you guys got happening. This is a weird game of telephone.
Don't worry about it. So they go, all right, it's all a lie. She's like, it's all a lie. Like, okay, that's fine. So then Nadine, Mean Nadine, opens up her purse.
Yeah, what's she produce?
Slowly pulls out a pair of black gloves.
What?
And puts them on one hand at a time.
Yeah.
Which, if again, this would be a little bit terrifying.
She's not even driving.
She's not trying to grip the wheel for better performance here. So as she's putting the gloves on, Nadine turns to Cindy and says, quote, "You'll never see Cherokee County again," which normally sounds like, "Thank you, awesome, wow,
great,
thank you, you rescued me." But in this case, is not okay. This is a terrifying threat while someone's putting gloves on and you're trapped in a car. So she's got the gloves on, and if you're Cindy, you must be terrified here. And she begins to choke Cindy Bailey with the gloves on. She apparently choked her, according to Teresa, for approximately 2 to 3 minutes, which is a long time. But it takes a while, especially if you're not a very, very strong person.
Yeah, or if you got small hands.
It's going to take 4 or 5 minutes to strangle somebody. That's just the way it is. So, I mean, in my personal experience of strangling many people, but no, and all the things I've heard in medical stuff, it takes a while.
It's hard to stop that blood.
It really is.
It tries to go.
So within 2 or 3 minutes, Teresa said Cindy's eyes rolled up into her head. So she was getting her to, it was working. She's working her over. But that's a lot of choking.
Yeah, it is.
To be choking somebody for 3 minutes is like, to not realize this is crazy. I'm choking a person.
Yeah.
And I should stop now.
Yeah.
Is a wild
in the middle of it, if you
process.
don't have some clarification,
3
just
minutes
wash over you.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
I could see it being in a blind rage about something. I start choking the shit out of somebody. But after like 10 seconds, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm really choking this fucking person. I should stop now.
And she started with a slow, casual, you'll never see Cherokee County again.
This isn't like that's not, this isn't a rage. This is in a minute I'm going to choke you, okay? All right.
I'm building it up now.
I'm really going to, I just put your food in. So I'm bringing your steak knives out. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what that says.
Caesar's being chilled.
So at one point, Greg told Cindy to hand him her purse. Give me your purse.
While he's driving.
While he's driving. Give me your purse here. I think at this point they might have pulled over.
Yeah.
So she does. Yeah. She's being choked, for Christ's sake. I think at this point she's open to suggestion.
Yeah.
He ends up looking through her purse and pulls out a small paring knife.
Okay.
Like Italian grandma's apple knife, basically, a little paring knife.
Cut the limes out.
And a lot of women would carry little weapons. I remember all my aunts always had those little razor blades in the keychain. Any woman who goes out and like does things, you need something to protect yourself.
Small stiletto or
something,
some mace.
Yeah, to hold their keys between their hands, or to punch you in the throat, or whatever the fuck it is. So he removes this paring knife, holds it up and says, "See, Mom, she was going to kill you with this. She was going to stab you with this."
I think she would have gotten it if she was going to.
Yeah. This is a super weird Norman Bates.
Yeah.
"See, Mom, look what she was going to do."
Right.
Like, no wonder why the girl's not allowed to eat at the table, Teresa. This is their weird relationship. Bizarre. So, yeah, she was going to hurt you with this knife. So Nadine takes the knife and says, "Were you going to use this to stab me?" She had no idea. Cindy had no idea she was going to see these people.
Right.
She was in a fucking motel room at 6 o'clock in the morning.
You guys showed up to me.
Yeah.
Right.
She did not expect these 3 lunatics to show up at the door and be like, "You want a boogie?"
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. So it's not like she was like, planning and arming herself for a confrontation. She had no idea they were going to be there. This is obviously ridiculous.
No plot happening.
Nothing. So then she takes the knife that Cindy has, and she stabs Cindy in the neck with it.
Oh, God.
Sticks it in.
Oh, my God.
Her neck.
Yeah.
Twists it around.
Oh, my God.
This is nothing. Twists it around twice and then pulls it back out. Luckily, it's a small little purse knife. But
that could have chewed some shit up in there.
It's not good. Bleeding.
Yeah.
She's now bleeding like crazy, obviously. Stabbed in the neck. She's just been choked to the point of near unconsciousness a minute before that. Now she's stabbed in the neck, trying to keep if you're stabbed in the neck, you can't even look at it. So you're just trying to cover it, hope you don't know if there's blood shooting out.
I don't know what you hid in there.
Who knows? Yeah. So it's at this point that Greg ups the ante a bit. And he pulls a gun out from under his leg.
Why the knife if you've got a gun?
He was sick. That's me. Nadine was mad at her. "You were going to hurt me with this knife." Take that. Literally twists it around and takes it out. Like, that's
torture.
That's disturbing, is what that is. And so Cindy's, hurt, but she's still conscious and she's talking to them and aware of what's going on. And Greg pulls a gun out from under his left leg.
Yeah.
And he's all mad. And he says, "Cindy, if you had hurt my mom, I would have shot you in a second and not thought anything about it."
Okay.
Cindy had no. She was being choked and didn't hurt her and didn't stab this woman.
Right.
If she was ever going to stab Nadine, that would have been the time.
Yeah.
When you're choked, when I'm almost unconscious from choking, hey, let me get my purse knife quick and stab this fucking bitch.
You
but
guys
she
might
didn't
get me in a rush, not before I saw mom's head off.
Yeah, exactly. Not before I canoe the both of you. Yeah.
Get me?
Get me? So that's what's going on here. Yeah. So this is all obviously crazy paranoia. Right. "You're going to kill my son and you brought this knife to kill me." And this is all, and Greg's amping it up and they're feeding into each other, and Teresa's in the front seat like, these people are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Man,
What have I got myself into?
Greg must have a magical penis is all I have to say.
What a bizarre kid.
Just a magical penis.
18 years old?
18 years old.
My God.
It must be amazing. Just down swinging.
Got 2 women.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
This is weird. But Cindy was, I guess, done with him, but I guess, I don't know, she still was going to go hang out with him.
But he's had 2 serious girlfriends.
Yeah, no, he's had multiple serious girlfriends here. So, yeah, I would have not thought a thing about shooting you. It shows her the gun. So the car drives where?
To the hospital?
No. No. Where do you think they're going to go?
No, that's what I thought.
No. They're going to Jim Hork's house. Dad's house.
Dad's house.
They're going to show up at Dad's house, who is the ex-husband, obviously, and are remarried.
Yeah.
So that's...
And he's going to bring a...
How would you like it if your ex-wife showed up with a bleeding woman that she stabbed in the neck and was like, "Hey,
I want to talk about it."
I'd be on the phone so fast. You should come get this person.
"Hey, babe, call the police. My ex is here, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's the reason I divorced her."
Guns and knives. I see a young girl bleeding from the neck. Yeah, this is
par for her course.
Well, shit. Well, also, I beat the shit out of her is another reason why I divorced. But,
she showed up and with the reasons that I used to hit her.
There it is, all of it. Oh, Jesus. So at least what I told myself.
Yeah. How I made it okay.
I did deserve to be shot. Did I ever tell you that story? Anyway, hold on. I should get back to this. Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So the car traveling here to Jim Smith's house, this is in Gans, Oklahoma. At the house are Jim and his wife.
Yeah.
It's fucking 7 a.m.
Yeah.
6:30 in the morning.
There's some Folgers in some cups.
They're talking about where we're going to see the fireworks tonight. And, you know, we're going to barbecue whose house we're going to barbecue
get in there and
at.
flip that bacon.
They arrive, the four of them, at the house. Jesus Christ. They get in. They walk into the house.
Oh, boy.
And first of all, I'm not even opening the door for this menagerie of fucking insanity outside. I don't care if my kid's in there or not. You got a bleeding woman with you. You're not coming to my house. So they go in. They order, we would say, I guess, Nadine orders Cindy to go take a shower.
My neck is cut.
Why a shower?
Get that blood off. Don't fuck up my ex's carpet. I don't know what the point is.
The shower makes no sense. Clean up your neck. You know what? But a shower? I guess she's got to be bloody. I don't know. So Robin, the new one, Jim Hork's new wife here, she says that when Cindy went into the bathroom at that point, when she was going to the bathroom to take a shower, she started begging Robin and Jim to help her. Help me, these fucking people. They took me from a motel, they stabbed me in the neck, and they held a gun in the fucking, she's crazy. She put gloves on, and holy Christ.
What's Robin do?
She shot a guy one time. Oh, that was you? Jesus Christ. See, you know she's crazy. Scrambled eggs. I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know she had an omelet in there. Fuck.
It's a real Denver.
So that's what's happening. She says, quote, Nadine was behind Cindy when she came in the bathroom.
Okay.
Nadine said, quote, you can say anything you want to me, my ex-husband, or his wife, and it won't do you any good. It's gone too far.
What?
It's gone too far?
What's gone too far?
This whole thing.
Yeah?
You just made it go too far.
Yeah.
She acted like one thing led to another.
Yeah.
Nothing led to anything. This is all of your own volition. Unforced error. You picked this broad up, you put her in a fucking car, accused her of crazy shit, stabbed her in the neck for no reason, choked her, and now
we're in too deep.
And now you told her to take a shower, which is the weirdest thing you've done so far for some reason. Anytime you're like, now get nude, it's like, okay, now we've taken it to another level now. I don't think I like this anymore. I never did out here. So it's gone too far.
Mm-hmm.
So then Nadine orders, I guess after the shower, I suppose, orders Cindy to sit in a recliner in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
You sit in that recliner.
Is she bandaged up?
She's just holding her neck.
Oh,
She's
my
still
God.
bleeding. It's bleeding pretty good. She hasn't hit an artery or anything, but it's not gushing. But it's bleeding.
It's leaking.
She's been stabbed in the neck, for Christ's sake. I mean, you think about what that would be like.
Oh, God.
And twisted around, so it's not even like it was a small stab.
She made it worse.
She made it worse. So she's doing that. She tells her, sit down. Mean Nadine also orders Jim Hork, the husband, to sit in the chair with her. You sit there with her.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. She's already shot me once. I mean, I know she means business.
She does.
So at that point, she, I guess, starts. Robin said that Cindy is sitting there begging them for help, even with Nadine. She's going, please help. Look at her. She's holding the fuck. What the fuck? Help me. Jesus, what are we doing here? You people must not be as crazy as the rest of these people, right? I hope you're not as crazy. Turns out they're not as crazy, but they're
on the team.
I think they're afraid of Nadine.
Oh.
I think is the problem, and Greg at this point too, because he's fucking. The only person they're not afraid of is Cindy and Teresa. I think So Nadine at that point asks Jim, her ex-husband, to quote to take the 60 acres to kill Cindy.
Okay.
Take to the 60. So let's go out on the 60-acre property to kill her.
Yeah.
Which is just right in front of Cindy. They're talking about it. Where should we kill her? I don't know. Wow. Jim said we can't get to the property. The creek is up. Sorry, creek's up.
Yeah.
Remember how it rained last weekend? Can't get across creek. Creek's up. Sorry.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I would have. The creek is always going to be up in this situation for me. The creek's up. I don't know. I'm going to say that whenever anybody asks me to do something I don't want to do.
The creek's up. Man.
Creek's up. Anytime we go out of town, you guys want to go to dinner? I can't. The creek's up.
The creek's up.
That's so weird that they wouldn't even question it. They go, okay.
Is that right?
And then you walk away,
and
then a minute later, like, the fucking creek's up. What are they talking about? But it kind of almost sounds like they should know it, and they don't, so they won't say anything, I think. Try that out, everybody. Just anything you don't want to do, go, can't, creek's up.
Or some wild animal season.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
It's quail season. I can't.
Fucking bear season.
You know how it is. Gee, creek's up. What do you want from me, dude? The creek's up. Jesus.
The salmon are feeding. I don't know.
I don't know what to do. So Nadine also talked to Jim, her ex-husband. Come along with us to kill this girl. You should come along. We'll kill her. We'll dump her in the woods. Maybe we'll dump her in the creek. It's up. She'll take her right away.
Remember when we got a divorce? That was the last day I wanted to see you.
Jim said, quote, I don't want to be involved in this.
Okay.
I was at my house with my new wife. Fucking house, new wife, 7 a.m. on a holiday. And you show up with a bleeding woman. Like, this is insanity.
He's skipping all the creeks and seasons. He's just going straight I don't even want to do it.
I don't want any part of this. So Robin, his wife, said that Nadine said, quote, the girl is going to have to die slowly.
Oh, my God.
That's what she said.
The fuck?
She just announced that to the room. Well, this girl's going to have to die slowly. Okay. So I feel so bad.
That's somebody's mom.
It's somebody's mom. It's just a human being sitting in this fucking chair who her life's just being bandied about.
Right.
Talked about like,
uselessly.
What are we going to do? Do you want McDonald's or Jack in the Box?
Right.
Like, it's a fucking crazy conversation. It's torturous to do this to somebody. Even if you're not going to kill them.
Right.
You're making them think you're going to kill them. This is like some serious mental torture.
Horrible.
It's hard to feel any worse for somebody than to be in this situation and have people tell them stuff like this, to the point where Robin said, quote, Cindy said she wanted to die fast.
Oh my God! She's making plans for herself.
She's just kill me fast, please. Don't. She's resigned to the fact that they're going to kill her.
Right.
She's not even trying to talk them out of it anymore. She's just like, please don't torture me first.
Where's that 25 you shot him with?
Yeah, please. Yeah. So she said that she was going to have a baby. She said, telling them she's pregnant now.
Oh, my.
And we never confirm whether she was pregnant or not, or just saying this to try to garner some, which would be a smart move.
Right.
I'm not, to try to garner a little sympathy. And she said she was concerned about the baby. Please don't torture me. You're torturing a baby, too. That's what she was trying to get through to them. Yeah. So while sitting in the recliner, Jim is sitting in the recliner next to her.
Right.
Robin said that he got sick from this whole thing and ran into the bathroom to throw up.
Yeah.
Because
this is crazy.
This is crazy. This is absolute. And even a fucking wife-beating lunatic, this is too much for him. This is too much for... This is what you do, like, if, you fucked the mob over and they took you into, like, a social club's basement in the fucking Bronx in 1983 or something. Like, this is weird.
Puke all over the wall.
Yeah, this broad could be a great hitman, this Mean Nadine, because she is cruel.
Mean is fucking... They nailed it.
Yeah. Oh, it gets worse.
Yeah. Oh, God.
They think she's mean now. So Jim runs off to throw up. Cindy is sitting in the recliner by herself. At this point, Robin leaves the house.
Okay.
She said she had to return a borrowed car, so she took off. Any excuse. I got to return a weather vane. It was in the thing, and I got to bring it back.
Some videotapes.
I got to, Jesus Christ, I got a film strip I got to bring to the elementary school.
Says be
about
kind,
Susan
rewind.
B. Anthony.
It'll take
I got to go right now. Holy shit. I'm getting any excuse possible.
Overdue library books. I got to get out of here.
My grandmother's pancreas just exploded. I felt it in my heart. I got to go right now. I'm out of this fucking place. So Robin said here, when she's getting ready to leave, walking toward the door, Nadine said to her, quote, "It's been nice not seeing you. I haven't been down here. You haven't seen me." In other words, as you're leaving, make sure you know that there's none of this happened.
Yeah.
Don't go out there telling people that this shit happened.
It's been nice not seeing you.
Been nice not seeing you. I haven't been down here. You haven't seen me. Bye.
Wow.
Still, you trust your ex-husband's new wife to not fucking flip on your murder?
Don't you dare snitch on me.
She's not involved in this.
Right.
They just showed up at her house, and they're not happy about it, and they're just letting her leave.
Telling her, don't tell anybody you saw me.
That is bonkers, man. So Robin goes to the Ringgold residence, a family that lives down the street, just out of view of the house enough to get down people they knew. They get down there, and she immediately says, there's no car she has to return. She just goes, holy shit, they're at my fucking house. These people came over. They got this girl. She stabbed her in the fucking neck. They're saying they're going to kill her slowly. My husband's thrown up. This shit is bonkers.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, fuck. So Larry Ringgold and another guy, this is some small town shit right here. Rather than, what would you do in this situation?
Well,
3 words.
Look at my schedule.
Yeah.
Call the cops.
That's the words. Call the cops.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
This guy instead, Larry Ringgold, and another guy who was hanging around, they just walk down the street or get in their car and drive to the police chief's house to tell him about it.
Go to his house.
Call the cops. Call a number.
The call's faster than the drive.
And call, and then more than one cop will come too. They get that, and then you can go to meet the police chief. Tell him all you want to tell him. They go to Police Chief Vernon Barnes's house. That's the Gans chief of police here. So, wow. At this moment, now back to the house. She's over there. The police chief is being notified.
Yeah.
Back at the ranch over here,
Oh, boy.
Teresa said that when Robin left, at some point, Cindy is now she's like alone with
lunatics.
She's alone with now Teresa and mean Nadine is here. And I don't know where Greg is. He's doing something in the house
just
somewhere.
Wandering around.
With his dad. I don't know what's going on. But Nadine tells Teresa, watch her for a minute or you're going to be next. Like, wow, this is okay. I thought it was weird he wouldn't let me eat with you, but this is even fucking weirder. So she tells her that and watch her. So when Nadine and Greg returned to the room now, Nadine told Cindy to put her sandals on because we're leaving. Put your shoes on. We're getting going now.
Okay.
All right. Now, she said, Teresa says that Cindy got up from the recliner and then shook her head back and forth. No, didn't say anything, but shook her head back and forth and sat back down in the chair.
Okay.
I think she said, I'm probably safest in this house of the people who don't want me murdered here.
The man who just threw up at the thought of that. I'm going to stay here.
And a woman just left. She didn't seem too into this. Maybe she's getting help.
Yeah.
So I think Teresa's thinking this is probably my safest
this is
place.
the last place that somebody that just left knows I don't want to be here. She knows where I am. I'm going to stay here.
They're talking about properties and creeks and where we're going to kill her and stuff. If I get in that car with you, I'm fucked. I'm done at that point.
We're talking about outdoors. I don't want to be there.
I got a chance in this house. So I think that's what she's thinking. So she sits back down in the chair. So Nadine then says to Teresa, or says to Cindy, and then to Teresa, quote, all right, bitch, if that's the way you want it, and then turns to Teresa and says, hand me a pillow.
Okay.
This is wild.
What else? She gonna put it behind her head and get her cozy?
Yeah, we're gonna get you nice and comfortable. I'm sorry. We've been dicks.
Fine. You don't want to die? Have some soup and a pillow.
Yeah, here, fine. If I made it homemade. Chicken noodle.
Put the pillow under her feet. Make her real nice.
She'll be nice and comfortable. So she does that, and then Nadine throws the pillow at Cindy. Cindy is now turned her attention away from Nadine, is now crying and begging Greg to help her.
Yeah.
They were together as her ex-boyfriend. I mean, maybe there's some form of, I'm a human being. We've had a connection at some point. Maybe you're a person and not a monster like your mother. To which Greg responds, quote, don't beg me, bitch.
What?
Which is the most evil thing he could say. Don't beg me, bitch, is the worst. Yeah.
Strange family.
This is this is a horror movie family.
Weird people.
The mother's involved. Yeah. And this is like a weird Texas Chainsaw Massacre family. Like, this is fucking strange.
The family from True Detective.
Oh, God. So
making flowers on them.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's some creepy. This is like what they do.
Yeah.
So Teresa says, quote, Nadine started teasing Cindy with a gun. She pointed it at her head, and when Cindy would move the pillow up to her face, Nadine would point it at her stomach.
Okay.
So she's like a little kid would do with a rubber band you're going to shoot at somebody, but with a fucking gun. She's doing this, pointing, laughing at her, going, ha, yeah, Cindy, oh, yeah. God. This is evil, is what this is. This is torture.
For nothing.
Nothing. She didn't do anything. Wow. Nadine and Greg got it in their heads that this was going on, gassed themselves up all night, and then said, let's go get her.
Created a scenario.
Wow. So Teresa said she got up to leave the room and walk away. She said it was too crazy for her and she couldn't deal with it because, if you're a normal person, this is beyond the realm of what you can deal with scope-wise. So she walks down the hallway. She said she heard a shot fired when she walked down the hallway. She turned around and heard Greg ask Nadine, did you shoot Cindy? And Nadine said, no, I didn't. I just scared her.
So she fired a weapon in her ex-husband's house.
She fired it into the recliner next to Cindy's head to fucking scare her on purpose.
Now my chair has a hole in it.
Yep, chair has a fucking hole in it, shot next to her to scare this poor girl. So now this girl's been tortured completely, including having a gunshot at her fucking head to scare her. She then, again, continues to threaten to kill Cindy with the gun. Well, maybe I'll shoot you in the head this time. You saw it goes right next to you. It's loaded.
Yeah.
Then keeps taunting her with it. Jim Hork, he comes out of the bathroom for being sick, and Nadine points the gun at him and says, get back in the bathroom and stay out of it.
Okay.
So he backs back down the hallway and goes in the bathroom.
In my house.
In my own fucking house while you're shooting up my furniture.
This is my house.
You're shooting up this is my house. You shoot Lillian cannot go outside.
This is my house.
This is my house. I don't care if this motherfucker burning to the ground.
It's my house.
I show up. I say to the fireman, how'd you know my house is on fire? They say, your wife called us. I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass, Lillian. That's an Eddie
I always
Murphy
mix
joke.
up Lillian and Vivian. God damn it.
Lillian
Yeah.
cannot go outside.
It's my house.
This is my house. So, backs him down the hallway. You're not allowed...
Go back in the bathroom.
Go back in the bathroom. So he backs down and
in his own house.
he's probably like, you know what? Great.
Yeah.
This is the best place I could
Yeah.
fucking be, probably. So, yeah, he goes back down the bathroom and stays out of it.
Crazy.
Soon after, because Teresa's down the hallway just kind of hanging out, she heard 3 more shots, and she said she turned to see Cindy's head bobble back and forth and saw Cindy fall to the floor. She said Nadine was standing over her with a pistol. Okay. Now at this point, mean Nadine tells her son, reload the gun.
Oh, my God.
More.
Yeah.
While Greg is reloading the gun, Nadine stands on Cindy's neck and jumps up and down on it.
What the hell for?
She called it, Teresa said she bounced on it while laughing the whole time.
Oh, my gosh. She
was
a lunatic.
Laughing while she has shot Cindy twice already, and she's laughing while jumping on her neck, going, yeah, come on, reload the gun. Ha, 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 ha. This is like crazy, cuckoo bananas fucking nuts.
That's
right
why
here.
you don't fuck with your mom.
This is
That's
crazy.
why he doesn't talk back, because this is what she does.
She's capable of
Yeah.
anything. So, oh, wow. Teresa said Greg handed the gun to Nadine, and Nadine got behind Cindy's body and fired 2 shots into the back of Cindy's head. Greg told her to finish the shots in the gun. Empty it.
Now your turn.
No. She said this was Nadine doing it. And Greg said, just empty the shoot the rest of the bullets.
Yeah. Empty it. Yeah.
I put 7 in there.
Yeah.
Empty it. So she does. She fires 6. She fires 4 more shots into Cindy's chest now.
In somebody else's house.
In her ex-husband's house.
Wow.
I don't want to ever hear you complain about your ex-wife again. I'm going to be honest with you.
She's awful.
She has never showed up with a bleeding woman, held you at gunpoint in your own bathroom, and then tortured and murdered her in your fucking living room. That's never happened.
I think I'd rather. At least then I can call the police and get rid of her.
That's true. That's true. You wouldn't have to pay anybody anything for that. But still, never again, Jimmie. Honestly, this is unless she does this, then by all means complain.
I'll be honest. I like Nadine better.
Nadine, she's certainly a party. She'll boogie with you. She'll boogie anyway.
She's done. Oh man, if she
holy
did that,
shit.
and made my son into what that boy is,
dude.
Holy hell!
And if you're Jim, you're probably throwing up from what a fucking pussy your son has turned into.
What
Jesus
a piece
Christ.
of shit she turned my kid into.
Scumbag. Wow. I don't even know what to say about this right now. So she's been Cindy was shot 5 times in the chest and twice in the head and once in the back.
Oh my God.
That's 8 shots into this poor fucking girl for no reason.
Much.
They say later on 5 of these shots would have been fatal.
Yeah.
5 fatal shots, and the knife wound, if left untreated, was potentially fatal
for sure.
as well.
Yeah, she's bleeding.
In addition to that, there's also contusions of her neck and chin where they jumped on her fucking head for no reason. So this is a mess. The dismount now. How do you get out of this?
What do you do?
First of all, a witness has left the house.
Yeah.
Who's not like someone on your team. It's your ex-husband's wife.
She's upset at you.
She's upset.
What about the ex-boyfriend or the boyfriend of Cindy who was at the motel too?
Yeah, he knows that they went with this is not planned well at all.
This is messy.
This is a giant. You'd have to kill at least 3 more people to make this fucking
to make it go away.
And now you got to kill Ringgold and the guy who went and told the police chief. You got to kill the police chief. You're now up to like 6-7 people you have to kill.
You got to get the whole town.
Pretty much, you got to wipe everybody out. Pray for a tornado, everybody. Come on, F5. Wipe this place from the face of the fucking earth while I hang on my belt like Twister off a fucking plumbing pipe.
Oh, Big Country manhandles Shaq and makes everybody forget about this for a little bit.
Please, Jesus Christ. So it's at this point that James Hork here, Jim Hork, he comes out of the bedroom at the same time that Gans police chief Vernon Barnes pulls up to the house.
Yeah?
Yes. So Jim goes out. Nadine says, you better go fucking get rid of him.
Go talk to the cops.
Go talk to that guy, because he's like, I know him. It's Vernon, and blah, blah, blah. He goes, well, you better go fucking get rid of him. So he goes out there and goes, no, everything's all right.
What?
Everything's fine.
You had your chance.
What you talking about?
Get in the back of the cop car and say, go in there and handle that shit.
Everything's fine.
And then lock the doors.
No, it's good in there. And Vernon says, well, your wife came over, said people were being tortured to death, possible potential murder situation.
Oh, that Robin.
And he went, that ain't right. No, I'm just inside. Everything's fine. I was watching the ball game.
We were boogieing, and we were beating some raccoons to death. That's what it was.
I boogied my balls
I hit
off.
a raccoon with another raccoon. It was ugly.
Man.
She got scared.
That's called a boogie in these parts, by the way. Tell you, when you hunt raccoons, you hunt animals with that animal. With that same animal. It'd be like going fishing and throwing a fish at a fish when it jumps out of the water, taking them out.
Same fish, though. I don't get a minnow to get a trout. I take a trout, and then when another trout jumps, I'll pound that motherfucker.
I prefer a largemouth bass because you can really hold them by the lip in your thumb, and really, you flip them like a frisbee. You could whack.
You really bash that sumbitch.
You bash that bass. So he says, no, everything's fine. And then Jim and Vernon, everything's fine, but I'd like to come with you.
Oh?
And then they get in the car and drive away.
Jim said, let's go for a ride.
Yes.
No, everything's fine. Weather's so nice. Roll them down. Shit.
Where are you getting? I'll take a ride with you. Okay.
It's 1982. I got this new CCR tape. Pop it in.
Brand
Let's
new.
go.
You heard Green River? It's pretty good.
Fortunate Sons.
I'm just gonna say,
it's a banger.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Fortunate Son, it's true too. That war needs to end soon. It does.
I can't wait. I'll tell you
what. So I'll just go. And Vernon, as a chief of police, nothing suspicious here.
Nothing weird.
A woman came from this house talking about terrible things. This guy comes out, says, everything's fine, but I'd love to leave now. And he goes, all right.
Let's have a ride along.
Wow, the intuition on this cop. What a gut feeling he's got.
Got a real hunch.
You got a real hunch guy here.
Got a real hunch there's a special down at Mary's Diner. Let's head on down.
Jesus Christ, what a detective. What a master detective he is, huh?
Real Perry Mason.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He was a lawyer, wasn't he? Sorry.
You're looking for Columbo.
There he is.
Kojak, Columbo.
Bingo, Kojak.
70s guys in trench coats.
Nice Beretta.
Yeah, there you go. So then Nadine... drags Cindy's body into a bedroom of the house.
Oh, boy.
And puts the gun in Cindy's hand.
Oh,
it's like
suicide.
Shot myself 8 times, once in the back.
Yeah.
By the way. Twice in the back of the head, once in the back.
Sound mad at me, I was.
5 in the chest. I have had it with myself. I really have. Had it. So.
Yeah.
Then the 3 of them, Greg, Nadine, and Teresa, drive back to Gore, where they first picked up
at the motel.
Cindy, and they pick up Tommy McGowan.
Tommy, hop in.
Hop in, Tommy.
Yeah.
Where's Cindy? Don't worry about it. Hop in.
We'll show you.
I think they're starting their cleanup at this point. But the problem is that Jim, once they gets away from the house and Robin's there and all that, he goes, they fucking killed a woman in my goddamn house. Jesus Christ, she got shot and all blah, 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 blah.
You know, that is very apropos of a man that hits woman. What a pussy.
What a pussy.
What a coward.
He couldn't say anything while
she was nearby.
There.
Not even there, just nearby.
There's a cop in the fucking driveway. Vernon, get your gun. Because my ex-wife has one.
She's armed. You may as well be.
You may as well be. And go in my house and take care of this shit.
You have several. Give me one. I'll go with you.
How dumb are the 3 of them in the fucking house going, it's cool. He just got in a car with the chief of police and drove away. I'm sure that's fine.
He's going to go wash it over.
Yeah, he's gonna make sure it's all. He's going to get him away from here.
He's going to bribe him with an A&W.
Wow. That is fucking...
They're dumb.
Intense. So they go in, they find Cindy's body in the bedroom of the house. Her heart and lungs are all torn up by the bullets. That's part of the autopsy as well. They found one gunshot wound in her back, 2 in her head, like we said, one just above the right ear. They said could definitely have been fatal. It was like a hitman shot. Bang.
She was shot before the cop got there?
Yeah.
Wow.
But she was dead already in there. Yeah.
He was very well aware.
If the door got open, he would have smelled gun smoke coming out at him. I mean, it's 8 shots in a fucking house, in a small house.
What a chicken shit coward.
Yeah. He's a chicken shit. He is an absolute chicken shit. He's a guy who
hits women.
Who breaks his wife's
fucking pussy
leg. So they thought initially, the medical examiner thought the neck wound was a gunshot wound at first
because it was so big.
It was big.
Yeah.
But then after getting some hearing from the witnesses, they rechecked it and went, it is a fucking knife wound. Holy shit. They just looked at it and went, there's another gunshot.
Yeah.
Just categorizing with everything.
Yeah,
just holes. They said that it could have been caused by a screwdriver, ice pick, or knife.
Probably the knife.
And we know it's a knife from the witness here. There's another witness here, Larry Ringgold. That's the guy that went to get the chief of police. He said that he saw Greg, Nadine, and Teresa at the residence on the day of the shooting because he was with Vernon as well, apparently. Right. He went over there also. I'm going to go see if there's a murder. Come with me.
So Robin just sent some guys and then stayed in that house?
Yeah, she stayed over there. She just sent, which I mean, hey, good job, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
I sent for help. Y'all got any tea?
She started the whole thing going. Yeah, are we eating or what are we doing? Lunchtime?
Some
breakfast?
Barbecue and the
whipping something
tinfoil in the fridge?
Something. July 4th, 1982, noon. So 12 o'clock noon after this is all going on here. An Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper pulls over these fucking 3 idiots in a car and fucking arrests them.
Wow.
They received a dispatch saying, keep an eye out for these morons, and they arrested all 3 of these idiots.
Tell you what we're going to do.
Worst
we're
dismount
murder
ever.
somebody today, and 7 hours later we'll be in police custody.
Because we're not going to cover our tracks at all.
Wow.
We're going to do it in front of several non-participating witnesses, which is the best people to murder in front of, people who don't have anything to lose in the whole situation.
Essentially, they got caught in the middle of it, for Christ's sake.
They just came to their house.
Right.
We'll use your dad's house as a place to kill this chick. What a fucking crazy idea.
And then just left her there?
Just put her in a bedroom and left.
With a gun in her hand.
With a gun in her hand, and then went to pick up the other.
Wow.
Still think she shot herself, and then went to pick up the other guy, because I assume they were going to kill him too.
Right.
So
that's the start.
They do that, so they bind them over, or they're bound over for murder here. It's, obvious, pretty obvious. There's a lot of witnesses here. It's Nadine and Greg have been charged with first-degree murder. Teresa immediately tells everything she knows, flips on them, says she'll testify against them.
Yeah, because I didn't touch anybody.
Granted full immunity, the whole deal.
I don't like that, but I like that.
What the hell was she going to do?
Yeah.
They would have killed her, right? If she said, "You'll be next," I would have said, "Okay."
And she did say, "Don't get in the car."
She did tell her not to get in the car. I mean, and I don't think. If Nadine is on the warpath, I think you're...
Yeah, she saved herself.
You're in the way at that point. I mean, that's just not great. So they're charged with first-degree murder, and they came to the court, and they get bound over, and here we go. They say that Greg is a, quote, aider and abettor and is the principal in the case. It's as if he pulled the trigger himself. He's just as guilty as his mother of the murder in the first degree.
Absolutely.
The prosecutor says, he said,
without him, she can't
shoot her more
Yeah.
and everything like that. He loaded the gun, everything like that. The defense asks that the charges be dismissed against Nadine.
I guess that's their job, but that's fucking insane.
Dismiss them, obviously, because the officers made an illegal arrest.
Okay.
They didn't have a warrant for it. Okay, so the defense attorney, and this is, again, some small-town shit here. The defense attorney here Nadine says, I'd like you to represent both me and my son. Not at the same time, by the way. They're going to have separate trials,
but same dude.
I'd like you to do that. And he said, that's
a conflict of interest. I can't do that.
Huge conflict of interest, because I might
Ethically,
have to. If I was his lawyer, I'd blame you. And if I was your lawyer, I'd blame him. So
ethically, I can't do that.
And they went, no, it's okay. He said, but he said potential conflict of interest.
Yeah.
He discussed the possibility of other counsel, gave recommendations, and she said, nope, we want you, because Nadine said, I trust you.
Oh, Nadine.
She is.
I'm going to blame him.
Greg stopped taking advice from her, by the way. Just separate yourself from his mother here. Nadine said that she had shot Cindy, tells the lawyer that, and says that Greg was in another part of the house. Her story to the lawyer is, I shot Cindy. Greg was in another part of the house with Teresa when it occurred. He wasn't even around.
So she's trying to take the rap for him.
She's trying to take the rap for him. She's trying to protect him because it's a real weird relationship here.
Yeah, well, the problem is they both got charges. So what do you want me to do, Ma?
Yeah, so Strout is the name of the attorney. He stressed, from what he said, quote, to both Smith and her son that in the event of either of their stories changing, they should contact him immediately because another counsel would have to take over the case.
Right.
He advised Nadine that her son that if any change occurred or if any third-party information surfaced which altered their version of events, he would more than likely not be able to represent either of them now because he's all fucking tainted with everything. So he said that she signed a thing saying she understood a potential conflict of interest and understood the potential risks and was okay with it.
Okay.
So, among the items collected, a blue steel handgun with ivory grips.
Wow.
They were able to trace the gun to a pawn shop in Tahlequah where forms had shown that Cindy purchased the gun.
Who's Cindy's gun? Oh, she bought.
Probably bought it for Greg.
Right.
Think about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were together.
Do we know the caliber of it?
I think it's a 22.
Okay.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So she purchased the gun. So their defense is it was her gun, so we shot her in self-defense.
Okay.
But they know that's the gun that shot her. So she had the gun. You took it, shot her with it, then gave it back to her.
Yeah.
That's what that says, which doesn't make any fucking logical sense, obviously, here. They also question big time. One of the defense's big things is they question about the bagging of her hands, of Cindy's hands, which they do. They put paper bags over to preserve DNA evidence in there and shit like that. So they said that also did they test her for any evidence of gunpowder residue?
Yeah.
And they said, well, it's often hard to determine after a few hours, and they didn't arrive at the scene till afternoon, so it was
Also, there's 8 shots. I doubt she fired them.
Yeah, and 2 of them are in the back of her fucking head, and one is in her back. So they wanted to know all of that. They said that they found a number of prescription bottles containing pills, and a bag of pills were found in the car that they were driving.
Yeah.
The 3 of them there, the trio, the murder trio.
Okay.
They said that one of the prescription bottles had Nadine Smith's name on it.
Okay.
That they do know. So they also said after all this, the defense attorney says, yeah, definitely motion for dismissal here, obviously. This is silly to even keep her. So they said, well, actually, we're going to keep both of them on no bond, as a matter of fact, because they're fucking crazy here. So Nadine's trial comes up. Now, Teresa is going to testify. She saw Nadine fire shots from a .22 caliber pistol into Cindy. Opening statements here. Defense attorney says that now she says, listen, or he says, listen, here's what happened. The woman on trial here, this is really a travesty of justice. She's extremely innocent. And you know who did this? That damn state star witness, Teresa. She's the culprit. She did all of this. Who had more to gain? She's the new girlfriend.
Right.
She was jealous of the ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
She did all of this to her.
She's got immunity.
It's all Teresa.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So, duh. This is by the way, 1-man, 11-woman jury.
Oh,
you know. Yeah. So Teresa is the state's main witness, and she's, she gives her shit here. We'll talk about that. The district attorney told the jury in his opening statement that, no, Nadine emptied the gun, handed it to her son, then shot her some more.
Yeah.
Jumped up and down on her throat, laughed.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Psychotic murder shit.
Tortured her, told her what was going to happen, basically made her dig her own grave. The psychological equivalent of that.
Thorough danger to society kind of behavior.
Bad stuff here.
Yeah.
Now, the trial, as it gets going, by the time the 5th day of proceedings comes around, it's a huge deal that it's too expensive, this trial. This is a small county.
We ran out of budget.
These small counties are not set up for long murder trials at all.
My
they don't have this budget for them,
Yeah.
for experts, for forensics, for all this type of shit. So They said that the guy who was the clerk of the court for the last 24 years said this trial is the most expensive one since he's been in office in 24 years.
Okay.
If completed this week, he said the trial will have cost the courts $15,000. Which is nothing for a trial now, but to them that's a huge budget. They say a jury trial never costs more than $3,000 or $4,000. There, this is 15, and that's if it ends quickly.
Wow.
So they're really.
We can either buy the town a Ford F-150, or we can try this murder.
We can get a murderer off this. You want to just let her go and let's just put posters up saying "Look out for me, Nadine," and
we
we'll all
can
just
try
avoid
a
her.
murderer for 8 days.
Oh shit! This is too expensive.
What?
He said the trial's averaging $1,000 a day. 12 jurors and 2 alternates plus 2 bailiffs have been sequestered in a motel since it began. In addition to the room rental, each juror has been fed 3 meals a day and receives $12.50 a day in compensation.
So we're up somewhere, so $12,000.
So he said it cost $8,000 before the jury was even impaneled. What are we going to do?
Raise your taxes. I don't know. Figure it out.
Something.
This is how societies take care of things.
We have a murderer. Would you like murderers to why we need to fucking pay for this?
Holy
Jesus Christ.
shit.
So mid-trial, a note comes out. And this is not good for me, Nadine, here. Yes, Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation agent testifies that a note entered into evidence here was written by Nadine Smith.
Yeah.
The note is reportedly addressed to Greg Smith, her son, while the two have been in jail.
And it says, "Don't worry, they don't have enough money."
Don't worry, they're too cheap to put us in prison.
Don't worry, they're broke.
They ain't gonna feed us once we're in there. They'll just let us go. So in this note, it says, this is while they're in jail, it outlines the story the two should tell when they accuse Teresa of committing the murder.
How?
It plans this whole cover-up and her whole defense.
This is like a bad joke. How dumb is she?
I have the notes quote. It's that dumb. Handwriting samples were compared to the handwriting in the note. They're the same. Robin said she found the note in her husband's drawer. So Jim was helping. Jim was going between.
Jim.
Yeah, Jim is now.
You coward pussy, man. She's in jail.
She killed a girl in your house, for Christ's sake. Yeah, he apparently is the go-between. Got a note from her and is going to bring it to the son because it's in his drawer.
He needs her to be in prison for him to be safe, but he's helping her maybe get out of. What the fuck is happening with this man?
I think if she tells him you're going to do this, he does it because he's a pussy.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't even remember receiving the note. He doesn't know what happened.
Because I received so many, and I'm a giant pussy.
Yep. Well, now, here's what he said.
Yeah.
Quote, here's what the note said. Read this over and over till you learn what to say. This is for Greg, mind you. Don't let anyone see you with it. Flush down when finished. Throw away. Okay. Teresa put gun in Cindy's hand. Me and you never touched gun. Teresa pulled Cindy into your dad's bedroom. I did not step on her throat. Teresa did, if we are asked.
I mean, she could have just saved all this with blame Teresa.
Tell Teresa
all
everything
the shit
I did. It's now to flip-flop us. I did Teresa stuff.
Everything you saw me do, Teresa did it.
It was actually Teresa.
Unbelievable.
Quote, you have got to say that me and you and your dad was in Hork's room looking for him some clothes to take him.
Oh, boy.
He was at my house. We heard 2 or 3 shots, ran out in the hall. Cindy was in chair holding knife. Teresa was standing beside her with gun.
Hey, bailiff, take this to my ex-husband, please.
Please. And tell him to give it to my co-defendant. Thank you. Your dad said, I am leaving. You went to door with him and said, as soon as we get Hork's clothes, we're leaving too. I was in Hork's bedroom. You came back in Hork's room to get his clothes. We heard 3 or 4 shots and went into the living room, and Cindy was laying in floor on her back. Teresa was standing up with gun. We did not help clean up blood. Don't know where gun came from. I did not once have a gun. Teresa and Cindy were fussing. Teresa had been taking blue pills and drinking beer. Blue pills.
Viagra.
Yeah, her dick is rock hard. Cindy wasn't up for fucking.
She had a giant clit.
Just huge, erect.
Red clit.
You could see it in her pants. You could see it in her jeans. From across the room.
Holy Christ.
Jesus, look at the clit on that one.
She could fuck you with it.
Oh, man, look at that. Teresa had been taking blue pills and drinking beer. I did not try to choke her coming from gore. Teresa was very jealous of you. I was never fussing with no one. Teresa asked Cindy to go to Gans with us. So
just all the opposite.
That just the opposite. Just everything I did. Tell her that's what.
Remember
Teresa did.
The story how it happened. Now do it opposite day.
Now I get you want to protect your mom, but this is your girlfriend, and she's flipped on you. She's not your girlfriend anymore.
No.
But she didn't fucking do anything.
No,
this is bonkers. So Teresa said that Nadine killed Bailey because Bailey had planned to snitch on Greg and Hork, but the prosecution didn't discuss in detail what basically. They didn't get into any of the details because you don't have to because that's irrelevant.
Who cares?
What she did is what she did. So back to the trial here. Star witness Teresa. She takes the stand, obviously, and also a state forensic pathologist corroborated pretty much everything that Teresa said about the wounds and everything. It all matches up here. So they discovered all the wounds. Bailey, Cindy had, like we said, 5 gunshot wounds in her left chest, all within a 5-inch diameter.
Really?
That's good grouping.
It's probably just real close.
It's close, too.
Yeah.
He attributed those as the main cause of death. Under cross-examination, the medical examiner said he learned from the assistant district attorney that the wound in the neck could have been a knife wound. So he said that it's common practice to compare notes with law enforcement when investigating a death, which they do. Because, like in the homicide book, there's a case where this has happened a lot, where a guy was a junkie and he fucking died in the bathroom. He fucking passed out and OD'd in the bathroom, and where he passed out, his wife couldn't get the door open.
Oh, shit.
So she had to bash it open, so it looked like he had his head bashed in.
Right.
So the medical examiner looked at it initially and said it was a fucking... he's blunt abject fucking force and blah, blah, blah.
She's really throwing the door into him.
And the cop said, you don't understand. You have to see the scene to understand where the fuck it was. She was trying to get at him and didn't know his head was in the fucking way and was bashing his head into the wall. So things like that will happen. So, anyway. But they're talking about all of that. They have to compare notes so they can decide whether it's a homicide or not. That's to classify it. So Teresa said while en route to the residence in Gans, Nadine stabbed her with a knife that she took out of her purse. She twisted the knife around. The wound in the neck, by the way, was 3 inches deep. And this is fucked up. It went all the way into her mouth. It went through everything.
Oh, fuck.
So she had a knife wound in her neck that tracked into her fucking mouth.
3 inches. Shit,
3
she
inches.
hit her like right at the jawline.
Yep, got her there.
Oh, my God.
And twisted it. So she had that. So
Christ.
she's in that kind of pain, being tortured the entire fucking time.
Oh, my God.
It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. So, wow. The Gans school superintendent testified earlier that Jim Smith told him he had seen the wound. This is the father.
Yeah.
Seen the wound and told him it was just a scratch.
Dude, it was in her
The
fucking
knife
mouth.
wound. She came over, girl, with a scratch on her neck. Wow. Pouring blood. Blood coming out of her mouth and neck. Teresa testified that Jim Smith was in the bathroom while Cindy was being killed and came out afterwards and asked Nadine, quote, if you had to do it, why'd you have to do it here? This is my house.
Well, I understand.
Fuck
you, Jim.
Yeah.
You're a bitch.
Everyone
dude.
in this is an asshole.
Yeah.
That's outside of Teresa, who her only fucking crime is picking a terrible picker when it comes to guys and families to be with. And as soon as she's not allowed to eat at the table, she should have got away from these fucking people.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Escape reality and immerse yourself in a gripping tale of mystery, murder, and romance with June's Journey. Join June as she unravels the truth behind her sister's mysterious death, and use your observation skills to find hidden clues and uncover dark secrets. Plus, you get to explore stunning hidden object scenes, from New York parlors to Parisian sidewalks, as each chapter reveals captivating mysteries. How sharp are your observation skills? Put them to the test in June's Journey. Download for free today on iOS and Android.
So the defense attorney, Monty Stout, he's everybody's defense attorney here, he presents evidence through the testimony of Joyce Smith, who is Nadine's daughter-in-law.
Okay.
She indicates that she talked to Teresa on July 4th after Nadine and Greg were put in jail.
Okay.
Joyce said that Teresa told her that killing Cindy was necessary because Cindy stood in the way of Teresa and Greg's happiness.
Okay.
That's what she says. Another witness, now if she's passing notes to her son to say this, what do you think she's passing notes to other people to say?
Yeah.
Another witness, Shirley Johnson, said that Cindy had once called her son to find out where Greg Smith was. And during the conversation, she had told her, Cindy had told this woman that Cindy was going to marry Greg Smith someday. Okay. Another guy, Jimmie Dodd here. Everybody's named Jim in this fucking town.
Damn it.
Jimmie Dodd testifies that Teresa told him on the night of July 4th that she would not tell anybody who shot Cindy unless she and Greg were allowed to go free. She said, I won't tell unless me and Greg are allowed to go free and be married. So,
no. Don't tell them.
That's what they're
we already
claiming.
know.
Nadine testifies.
Oh, boy.
She testifies here. She said here that she stabbed the woman in the neck during a dispute and fired at her to keep her away from her, but never meant to kill her. Okay. She said that that Cindy had threatened to inform on her son. The information would have gotten him in legal trouble, and that information, by the way, not disclosed during the trial. But like we said, halfway through it, she testified. Then her defense comes in and changes their entire story.
Oh, you can't do that.
Halfway through the trial and says, no, Teresa did it.
Oh, boy.
Either pick one. Either I didn't mean to do it or Teresa did it,
right.
but, not the other thing.
I didn't mean to do it, and I didn't do it.
No, but
oh boy,
check it out. Now, closing arguments.
Yeah.
The defense tells the jurors that they could stop viewing Nadine Smith as a defendant and start looking at her as a human being, a person, a mother, a victim.
Yeah.
A victim.
Victim.
In 1965, she was a victim when her husband was beating her up. She's not a victim right now.
Wow.
She's a perpetrating lunatic.
Yeah.
So the verdict comes in here, and it's going to be very hard to get off on this one with these witnesses. And
You're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and everybody is, even the fucking ex-husband's playing along with Nadine shit. You think the daughter-in-law's not going to? Holy crap. Do this for my mom?
Yeah.
So this comes in guilty of first-degree murder. By the way, going into sentencing, death penalty on the table.
Yeah, it's Oklahoma.
This is as heinous and atrocious and cruel as it gets.
Yeah.
So the prosecution alleges the existence of 3 aggravating factors, especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel.
Yeah.
And that's literally the legal language.
Yeah.
I think this is if you would say, what's that? You'd explain this murder. And you go, something like that.
Yeah.
Where you're like, mentally and physically torturing them and you're making them really have a horrible last couple minutes of their life.
How about robbery? They took her purse.
That's the other thing. The existence of a probability that that Smith would commit acts of violence and would constitute a continuing threat to society. Nadine's a monster.
That's an aggravator?
That's an aggravator. She's a continuing threat to society. And that Nadine knowingly created a great risk of death to more than one person.
Yeah.
She's firing off gunshots in a fucking house.
Yeah.
That's
just
dangerous.
Oh, man. And she went to go find the other boy.
That's the other thing. Yeah. So for mitigating circumstances here.
What the hell could it be?
Okay, a couple people testify in her defense.
Yeah.
Number one is her ex-husband testifies in her mitigation.
Sir,
He testifies. Listen to this shit. They said, didn't your wife shoot you in 1965? Like, this is another shooting.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, but it wasn't her fault. It went off during a struggle.
You understand.
There's a restraining order. She had a cast on. There was crutches and everything.
See, you guys, look, she has fire pussy. That's what it is.
It's pretty good. Like,
is that what?
even when you hate her, you go, I miss that fire pussy. It's why my son keeps getting women, even though he's a moron. He's got just a magic penis.
Fire dick.
You play a flute and it rises like a cobra. It's wild.
What would she have to do to get you to say anything nice about her?
I can't. She's in jail.
It's conviction.
The threat's removed. She's going to
done.
convict. You go up there and go, she's terrible. Holy shit. She came to my house and freaked me out. And fucking my wife ran away. It was fucking nuts. I'm throwing up in the bathroom. She put me next to on the fucking on the recliner next to this guy.
While starting the mitigating shit, he just starts saying why she's an asshole.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
On second thought, Your Honor, I got nothing mitigating.
I got nothing to say positive here. The Sequoia County Sheriff, Sam Lockhart, testifies that Nadine's been a model prisoner since she's been arrested.
Well, yeah, she's being watched.
Yeah, there's no weapons in there.
Right.
So, yeah. Also, other factors they put in here from the defense. The defendant is a good, loving mother to her children, and it's been left up to her to completely raise and provide for them. So, obviously, she should torture people. The extent of her education consists of public schools and business college.
Oh.
What the fuck does that mean?
Right.
That's
mitigating?
That's mitigating? She's had a normal amount of education. She went to public school.
Evidently, I can murder at will, Jay.
Oh, God. I have a GED. They just go, GED. You
don't understand, Your Honor. He's got a GED.
Impunity.
He's a moron.
He's an idiot. Look at him. He's a complete idiot. He couldn't even graduate. Look at him. He couldn't even get his shit together enough to turn in simple high school assignments.
You expect him to know it's not okay to kill?
He failed gym class, Your Honor. I did. Just because he didn't show up. He just didn't come.
Unbelievable.
Which I thought wasn't fair, by the way, because I play basketball outside the whole time, which that's not fucking... Give me a break. You fail me while I'm playing ball?
I was out here smoking weed. I did it with a handicap, for Christ's sake.
I was high, but I was playing ball. She has held steady employment for most of her adult life.
Okay.
During her adolescent years, she was active in Sunday school and church, and during the early part of her adult years was active in Sunday school and church and played the piano to accompany the choir. Oh, by all means, then.
That's mitigating? That
Hold
sounds
on.
more like aggravating. She read a book that told her not to do this, and she still did it?
Let me see your hands. Let me undo those cuffs for you. This is ridiculous.
Head on out there. I'm sure those cuffs are keeping you from playing that piano.
Jesus. During the years of marriage to James Hork Smith, while she was raising and providing for the children, she was beaten at the hands of her alcoholic husband and, in fact, suffered a broken leg as a result.
Yeah.
She was responsible for the children's involvement in church, and she is currently a model prisoner.
I'm sure.
So, the defense here in their closing, he said, consider the good things she's done.
Yeah.
Okay? Any list you got for you? She went to church when she was a kid.
She left a child motherless and fatherless.
Fatherless, yeah. He told the jury they have two choices. One was to recommend Nadine Smith be imprisoned for life.
Yeah.
He said, give her, under your verdict, what this woman never had, ever. Give her the freedom to read, to be creative, to find herself, to take a wine and painting class and go to do yoga and maybe just have coffee with the girls once in a while, and just talk about their lives and things like that. Maybe get a side business going, sell some LuLaRoe. Give her a chance to do these things.
Give her the chance to have a rosé kind of day.
Come on now. She's a Franzia kind of lady. No, but he did say give her the freedom to read, be creative, and find herself. The rest I can't. But that sounds just as ridiculous.
But you could still do that in prison.
Sure. Well, that's what he's saying. Don't. She can do it forever. Let her do it forever.
Yeah.
Give her the day-to-day opportunity to exist in whatever she is allowed or chooses to involve herself in.
Or we could just throw her to the dogs.
Well, yeah, he said the other choice is death.
Yeah.
A quick and certain and immediate death for Nadine Smith. They will place a needle in her arm, and she will die. They're like, Like now? Can we do that? Can I watch?
Can we do it before lunch?
Like the weekend?
Yeah.
Like now? Or
Let's do it after lunch. I might get sick.
You know what? I want to have something in my stomach. It's grumbling. It's grumbling. I don't want to be a distraction.
This is a belly full of Varia tacos.
Wow. In the recommendation here, the jury finds that what she did was heinous, atrocious, and cruel. And the judge then has to take their recommendation and says, you, ma'am, may fuck off. Death penalty.
They're going to give it to her.
They gave it to her. Death penalty. Now, the recommendation is believed to be the first since Richard Morris was sentenced to death in 1975 for killing Henry Ellis of Salisaw by driving an ice pick into his head. That death penalty was reversed on appeal, though, the first in this county. So the Sequoia County clerk, the guy who said he never had a trial cost this much, said he also has never seen a woman being sentenced to death in this county.
Is that right?
He's saying it's a first. Now her son's got his trial.
Oh, that's not going to go well.
Dipshit Greg over here. Yeah. It's the same evidence.
Yeah.
Teresa testifies. It's bad for him.
Same case. Yeah.
And Robin testifies the whole time. Not good. So a jury, they convict him of first-degree murder, just the same, and they give him, you, sir, may fuck off, life in prison.
Is that right?
State asked for the death penalty. They gave him life with the possibility of parole.
How?
Because he didn't
pull a trigger.
He didn't stab her. He didn't pull the trigger. They looked at him as like a puppet of his mother.
Yeah.
Which is probably true, but I don't really give a fuck because this was awful. You could have said, Mom, enough.
He went with her on every step of the way.
Mom, no more.
He reloaded and
drove.
said, shoot her.
Yeah. He could have not reloaded. He could have said, no, that's enough.
I put him in. Don't waste him.
Wow. So, yeah, he is given that. So the state was pissed, too. They wanted the death penalty.
Yeah, I do, too.
Yeah. So the execution date is requested for them. They put in for the execution date right away.
Okay.
They said no date has been set yet. Her appeal to the Supreme Court was denied.
Yeah.
And they said the Supreme Court will agree to hear only cases in which that they have constitutional questions of, whether civil rights violated, that sort of thing. And Smith's attorneys had appealed to the Supreme Court on constitutional grounds, or had they appealed, the court agreed it could not hear the case because it had no constitutional merits.
Okay.
They explained that several appeal procedures are still open to her. Here, they said, quote, this was just their first petition to the Supreme Court. They may apply for post-conviction relief, and if that fails, they may appeal that decision as well. Okay. There's a lot of appealing that you can do, obviously.
Sure.
So appeals on post-conviction relief, they said, may be based on allegations of irregularities within the trial procedure, such as alleged errors by attorneys. That's, my attorney fucked me over.
Yeah.
Evidence that was unavailable at the time of the trial. Now we have DNA. Somebody else was there. One of her main things is, during the trial, there was a blood spatter guy.
Okay.
And they say that he took like a week-long course, but he pumped it up to sound like he had more expertise than he did. And there was a blue blouse that they found. And they said he said that based on the spatter, he thought whoever was wearing the blouse was the shooter.
Okay.
And they said basically there's no way you could tell that, and that anybody who was wearing the blouse who was near Cindy could have also gotten blood on him.
Unless the outline of a gun and arms is on the fucking sweater, then how do you know?
So that is part of it. So they say that guy shouldn't have been allowed to testify based on that, but the defense was able to say, how do you know that? It was all disputed and whatever. So she says that letting the guy testify as an expert when he wasn't really an expert and didn't do it that well means that she should get her.
Well, whose blouse was it? Nadine's?
Yes.
Well, then
there you go.
Let's move along.
So she's saying, well, it wasn't me, though. I wasn't even, I don't know what's going on here. So she contended there were several irregularities. Among these were possibility of a conflict of interest, since the lawyers defended the co-defendants.
You chose this life.
Which she said that. Her son the jury was improperly selected, of course. And the exhibits were highly prejudicial, meaning the autopsy pictures.
I mean, there's a lot of pictures of a dead girl. That's not fair.
Yeah. And the jury was improperly instructed as well, obviously. She's being housed at the Mabel Bassett Detention Center in Oklahoma City. Now, while on death row, Jimmy.
Oh, boy.
You know what, everybody? You can be on death row, but that doesn't mean you're not a lady.
True. Yeah. Sometimes you get that not so fresh feeling.
And that's what she said.
Yeah.
I said, I'm a lady. She said, quote, I expect to be treated like a lady.
Oh.
She said an interviewer this. She's on death row.
They're not even putting jackets over mud puddles.
You're not even, this is ridiculous. You're not even allowed to be treated like a human, never mind a lady.
I believe they open doors for you. That's as lady as it's going to get.
Yeah, that's only because you're cuffed and shackled.
Yeah,
Other than that.
you can't do it.
Yeah, that's it. She said this in her newspaper interview, quote, some corrections officers have smart attitudes. I respect them and expect to be treated likewise, and until I show otherwise, I'm going to be treated like one. I don't care what I'm in here for.
Okay, give it 15 years. Watch
Are you out
Oz.
of your
You're about to see how they get
mind?
treated.
Yeah, you're going to get treated terribly.
It's common, probably. You're probably getting the same treatment as everywhere else.
Yeah, and you're a bit of a dick, too.
Yeah.
Because of her time there, she said that she wouldn't do press interviews. She did this in the prison newspaper, this interview.
Oh.
She spoke to one reporter for Women's Inside News, which is a prison-run newspaper here. And she says the possibility of her execution doesn't frighten her because she has the comfort of her religion.
Okay.
She said, my relationship with Jesus Christ has given me strength. I'm never lonely and I don't worry. Oh, well, then good. Cool.
Great.
Awesome. Bye.
Then why would you bitch about anything?
Bye. Just fucking see you. No, she's fine.
She says she's comfortable.
She doesn't need an hour of her rec time because she said Jesus and her were doing jumping jacks earlier and calisthenics and shit. And she said Jesus is the best leader of the calisthenic thing.
She did sit-ups for Jesus. She'll be all right.
It's okay. Crunches for Christ. That's what it was. So she complained she doesn't have the same access to religious services, law books, and educational opportunities as other prisoners. Yeah, they don't educate death row prisoners because they're going to kill you.
Get back to your pious pull-ups.
Jeez, yeah, exactly. Fuck. Because death row inmates have administrative segregation inmates are kept in the same area, death row inmates suffer because of the behavior of other inmates, they say in the paper. Administrative segregation is the area, ADSEG, where it's for your fuck-ups. You're constantly misbehaving people, escape risks.
Right.
People you got to take a look at the whole time.
It's the worst of the worst.
Yeah. A lot of times mental conditions now, too, because they don't have the capacity at mental hospitals.
Yeah.
So they just take the prisoners who need to be in an institution and just put them in a fucking cell and stare at them.
Put them alone.
With nobody to watch. Yeah,
Make
it's
it a
crazy.
little worse.
They said, this is what she said, death row and administrative segregation should be separated. If administrative segregation or disciplinary unit messes up, we get the blunt end of it. Wow. Okay. They said only one cell on death row is dedicated to the ADSEG area. The prisoners are housed in the same area because it makes sense to keep the higher security inmates in the same area.
Right.
Death row prisoners get 1 hour of exercise Monday through Friday and showers on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They said if the weather won't allow exercise in the caged death row pen there, inmates are allowed to do aerobics in pairs with a video cassette recorder in a glassed-in area outside their cells.
Oh, my God. It's almost like you probably shouldn't kill people.
It's like it sucks when you kill people. It's like not fun afterwards.
It's like they take everything great and rip it away from you.
Super late. There's no boogieing in here whatsoever. Zero boogie to this place.
Can't even groom.
Fuck, man. So they're allowed to use payphones on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for up to 15 minutes.
Wow.
Up to 15 minutes. Other than that, they spend their time 23 hours a day alone in their cells, obviously with the exception of Jesus. He's allowed in. She says she spends her time crocheting, reading the Bible, and watching television.
Yeah?
Yep. She said, quote, I like the Cosby Show and clean programs that I could find. I hate all these scumbag Hollywood types out there with their sex and their drugs.
And their mistreatment of others.
I like the clean stuff when I can find them. I love it.
God, I hope we didn't kill her yet. I want her to know it so bad.
Favorite thing to do is to sit with Jesus and watch the Cosby Show. He likes the Cosby Show too.
Two of the most victim-free things.
Yeah, just totally. She said, quote, after lunch I watch my soap operas. Days of Our Lives is my favorite one.
Oh, how about that?
She likes the clean stuff, unless it's just plots about sex and murder. Yeah. That's all it is there. She said her biggest complaint was the lack of religious services for death row inmates. She said that really is That's the problem. She said that's the one that's driving her nuts.
We got a friend on Days of Our Lives right now.
We do. Yeah. We do. We absolutely do. Well, she would have.
I hope she doesn't get to watch him.
Well, we'll talk about what she gets to watch.
Oh, boy.
She says if she talks to a minister, it's through the bean hole, which is the term the prisoners and corrections officers refer to as the slot.
Yeah.
Where the prison
the food
comes
goes.
in.
The bean hole?
Bean hole. My bean hole. That sounds like where you fart from, doesn't it?
It's your asshole.
Whew, man, I got rippers coming out my bean hole tonight, buddy. I'll tell you what.
My bean hole sells something fierce.
Is your bean hole burning right now? Do we eat too much of that? About once a year, she gets a visit with her son, which I'm shocked they let him visit. Why would you let them visit with each other? They're murderers together in separate facilities.
The last time they were together, it was bad.
Yeah, through a glass wall with a telephone. Just
okay.
one of them. But
So
still,
bad.
I don't care. What's the difference? Smith said the only person she's allowed contact visits with is her attorney, and she must wear handcuffs when she sees him.
Yeah.
When she's housed among other women, while she's housed among other women, she would be executed among the men, she said. State laws only allow executions to take place at the McAllister Corrections Department there. Yeah. So they have... Officials have plans for how to deal with a female execution, they said, but it might present special problems. Anyway. So 1997 is one of her appeals.
Oh, boy.
15 years later, 5 propositions of error here. They said that several of the propositions contain separate allegations of error, and several propositions are interrelated. One here, she asserts that newly discovered evidence which proves that the blood spatter guy, Kenneth Eady, witness for the state, lied about his qualifications as a blood spatter expert, thus presenting a strong challenge to his conclusion that she was the shooter. Now, to me, the eyewitness accounts matter way more than completely tuned out by the time blood spatters come, because I just heard everyone describe
exactly how it happened,
blow by blow, several different people here. The court addressed the issue of his qualifications as a blood spatter expert. They said that they found, based on evidence, that he did not have sufficient training to qualify him as a blood spatter expert, and he was not qualified to testify on the subject of blood spatter. Thus, they say, we held that the trial court, on application for post-conviction relief, should have determined that the admission of the blood spatter testimony was error. We find so in this case. So that's one thing.
Yeah. Next,
they claim ineffective assistance of trial counsel because there was a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Which, she claims her appellate counsel inadequately raised the issue of possibility of conflict when, in fact, it was an actual conflict. She fails to designate what records of relevant proceeding appellate counsel failed to submit to this court. They said an expert witness for her stated that counsel was ineffective because of failure to request a remand hearing for ineffective assistance of counsel. Okay. She also points this out. The defense counsel's expressed demand, all above else. Oh, okay. The defense counsel in her case, I guess, said that above all else, you've got to save Greg. Told her that.
Oh.
You got to save your son.
Yeah.
Which I think he's just trying to be a human being at that
Maybe
point.
he was trying to get out of the representation of if I represent him, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
You have to save him. Let's get him a different lawyer.
And then she said, too, defense counsel's loyalty to Greg as demonstrated in his argument to sever their trial, where he argued that because all the evidence in the preliminary hearing pointed at Nadine as the shooter, Greg would be unduly prejudiced in a joint trial.
Sure.
Which is, he's doing his job as a lawyer. He's doing exactly what he told you he was going to do and said, you might not want someone to do that.
Yes.
That's the thing. The failure to call Greg as a witness in Nadine's trial to corroborate her testimony for fear it might implicate and discredit him, thereby demonstrating, again, loyalty to Greg.
Well, the problem is if you put him on the stand in your defense, he gets cross-examined, and they're going to eat his fucking lunch.
They're going to eat his ass alive for that shit, and it's ridiculous. You can't expect...
And then you can't bring that up later.
You can't expect...
Because you got the bad outcome.
Yes, and the whole thing was save my son, was what you were telling him to do.
Well, we did.
There, yeah. Defense counsel's strategy to use the alibi offense, which was that Teresa had committed the offense without corroboration from Greg or otherwise, where there was evidence implicating Greg as the principal actor in the murder. They said, we've examined the record of post-conviction proceedings and considered the arguments and find that Nadine has failed to demonstrate that the defense counsel's representation amounted to an actual conflict of interest, which adversely affected his performance.
Yeah.
In her application for post-conviction relief, she contends that the attorney should have discovered the fact that she was involved in a serious car accident in 1966 that rendered her unconscious for a time and resulted in organic brain damage.
Fuck.
Yes.
She's got CTE in
She's saying,
1997?
yeah, it's her and a defensive lineman of the same. She said, according to a post-conviction psychological examination obtained by her, this organic brain damage, particularly when combined with drugs and alcohol, which she was on, substantially impaired her ability to control violent impulses.
Yeah, it's like running the Power Eye for 12 years.
That doesn't mean you can kill people. Again, it's up the middle, babe. Every once in a while, you run the sweep, and you put your head down.
It's first and 10, first and goal on the 1. We're pounding it in.
What am I supposed to do? Everybody goes high, go low.
We got Marshawn Lynch.
That's it. We're going. So they said that the lawyer testified in the post-conviction proceedings that he obtained a variety of personal information from Smith prior to trial, and that the only major injury she ever shared with him was when her ex-husband, quote, broke her arm or leg or something, is what he said.
Broke her a lot.
So
all right.
apparently she didn't disclose to him that she had been in a terrible car accident.
Yeah.
She didn't think of it as important enough.
She probably forgot, to be honest.
Yeah, scrambled a little bit. Smith never mentioned anything about a 1966 car accident or a head injury. Mm-hmm. As for other medical information, the lawyer asked Smith whether she was on any medications. She said she wasn't, but he did not obtain her medical records. Although Strout considered the possibility of having a psychologist examine her, he ultimately concluded there was no basis for doing so because they weren't going for a diminished capacity defense. So the lawyer concluded that Nadine was, quote, perfectly lucid, had a good memory, and was simply under the influence of drugs and alcohol at the time of the murder. She simply got fucked up and said, let's go out and get her.
Let's boogie.
As for her drug and alcohol use, he testified he was surprised during the first stage of the trial when Nadine denied being under the influence of drugs and alcohol at the time of the murder. According to him, in his opinion, she, quote, did not want her parents to hear evidence about her taking drugs and drinking. She murdered a girl.
But don't tell him I'm drunk.
Don't tell him I did it because I was all fucked up. They said, we find it unnecessary to decide whether the second stage preparation and presentation were constitutionally deficient because, even assuming they were, the outcome of the second stage proceedings was not reasonably affected. Mm-hmm. They said it would not, in our view, have altered the jury's findings that the crime was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel, or any of the other aggravators. The attorney and blood spatter thing here, they really get into the blood spatter here. And they also said once Smith changed her story and denied shooting Cindy, the lawyer necessarily had to find a way to challenge the blood spatter testimony.
Yeah, he's already put that in.
Yeah, the lawyer testified that based on the blood spatter guy's preliminary hearing testimony, he said he knew how the guy was going to testify generally and thought it was an incredible theory that he could not imagine reasonable people accepting. Right. So, yeah, they said... so he admitted also that he was unfamiliar with blood spatter analysis, the lawyer was, and did not know any other experts in the field. He said that a report from an independent expert in blood spatter analysis would absolutely have been helpful to the defense, but that he and Smith lacked the funds to hire such an expert, and that he didn't think the court would entertain a blood spatter expert request in a case involving a retained defense counsel.
Can I please get some state-funded shit?
For my private lawyer.
Right.
He said if I was a public defender, maybe, but definitely not there. Also claims suppression of evidence.
Oh?
Oh, yeah.
They hid some shit.
Said that the argument concerning suppression of evidence pertaining to this, first, they contend the prosecution failed to disclose the fact that Teresa was promised immunity from prosecution in return for her testimony. Second, they contend the prosecution failed to disclose the existence of a tape-recorded conversation that Teresa gave to police and Assistant Attorney Don Baker. They're saying the tape-recorded statement has slight differences between that and her testimony of exactly what happened in different times or things like that. So, yeah, they said that, come on, what are you going to do? And she's immune? Obviously, she's the killer. So they said, you fuck off.
Yeah.
That's denied. So then the U.S. Supreme Court refuses to hear the appeal of her, who is convicted. They said that she is the closest to execution of all female death row inmates in the United States. they said, a spokesman for the Attorney General.
She's the one going first.
Well, it's later on, but she's the closest of anybody on there. She's the running out of appeals.
Running out of time, yeah.
So the case will move to step 7 in the traditional 9-step appeals process.
Oh, my God.
Early November 2001 is a clemency hearing for Nadine. She's out of appeals.
Begging the governor.
Now she's clemency. It's the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board denies her clemency. Her attorney said she suffered from a head injury, was trying to protect her son, was also all fucked up on alcohol.
Anything. Just
great prisoner, loves Jesus, don't kill her.
Trying
basically.
so hard.
Yeah, held down a job and all this type of shit. And they say, nope.
No, ma'am.
Death for you. So December the 4th, 2001, execution day.
Wow.
Cindy's daughter, who is now 24 years old,
shit.
speaks up here.
Yeah.
Because she said Lois Nadine Smith did not just kill my mother, she shot her 9 times and tortured her. It has been 20 long years without my mother, and living with the thought of how Lois murdered her and the horror and terror my mother must have felt knowing that this animal would be the last face she would see alive.
Calling her Lois. That's
Lois.
Sting.
Yeah, Lois. Yeah, Lois Nadine.
Yeah.
She said she took something away from me that no one can ever replace. She was 5 and her mother got killed.
Baby.
That's disturbing. Her last meal actually gets a last meal. Last
Pizza?
meal, everybody. No. Barbecue ribs. Onion rings.
Yeah.
Strawberry banana cake.
Yeah. Really?
And cherry lemonade. Not bad.
Pretty good meal.
Not a bad meal.
Yeah.
Ribs and onion rings.
The cherry lemonade. I mean,
your preference.
Right, whatever.
I'd rather have some soda, but
I do
fine.
like something sweet.
I like
there.
a cherry lemonade.
I like
I'll drink
something
that.
sweet with the barbecue.
Strawberry banana cake sounds.
I've
pretty
never
good.
heard of that. That sounds
like
great.
A strawberry banana yogurt's fantastic.
Like a pound cake almost.
Yeah, that sounds real good. Barbecue ribs, onion rings. So that sounds delicious.
Solid choices. No vegetables. Look at that.
No, she's dying.
She went
What am I
fuck it
doing?
all.
Yeah, pile of ribs.
Give me a
onion
Beatties
rings.
meal.
Give me another onion ring in place of vegetables.
Let's find out if I have diabetes. Give me all the sugar.
Let's see if I'm shaking and twitching on the way up there. In her last words,
oh God, she's got something to say.
She said, "To the families, I want to say I'm sorry for the pain and loss I've caused you. I ask that you forgive me. You must forgive to be forgiven." Now, don't tell me what the fuck to do.
That's a Jesus thing.
You can tell, yeah.
No, it's not.
You must forgive to be forgiven. That's fine, but you don't tell me that. You ask for forgiveness and fuck off. That's
you
what you
don't
do.
have to forgive to be forgiven.
I don't have to do shit. First of all, you don't tell me shit.
There's a lot of people on death row that are defiant as fuck, and the families come in and go, "We don't care how defiant you are. We've already forgiven you because you can't take anything from us."
Yeah.
That's just a
She's
cliche
saying,
bullshit.
You have to forgive me, that way you can be forgiven. Otherwise, your hate in your heart for me will.
Is that what she's
Jesus won't like. Yes, exactly.
She's an asshole.
She's being a twat to the end,
Yeah.
to the fucking last thing. She said that's like saying, "I'll pray for you." Or some
bless
shit.
your heart.
Yeah,
that bullshit.
Yeah. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. She
Oh,
said.
that's exactly what she's doing.
Exactly what she's doing. She's being a
sucks.
fucking twat. Yep. She also thanked her attorneys like she's accepting a Grammy.
Right.
And then
give a good shout out to Gersh.
A big shout out to fucking Elektra Records. So she is put to death by lethal injection at 9:13 p.m.
Oh,
that night.
She got a one last sunset, huh?
Yep. Witnessed by Brandy.
Yeah.
And her husband Brandon. Brandy and Brandon.
Really?
That's wild. Cindy's sister, Diana. Diana Secret is her name, which sounds like a movie character. That's cool.
Fucking sweet pop star.
Yeah, and another guy who they listed as a friend of Secret.
Oh, okay.
A secret friend. Paul Trapp, secret friend. They said witnessing the execution on Smith's behalf were 4 of her attorneys, a spiritual advisor, and an investigator. The guy who was trying to get her free, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So Brandy witnessed the execution, and she said, quote, "If she really meant it, you have to forgive, even though it's very hard and it doesn't help me at all. It does a little bit, but it doesn't bring back my mom. Right. I wish she thought of this before she did what she did. We wouldn't be in this position."
Yeah, I mean, what she was doing was exacting vengeance on somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe if you would have just forgiven, you dumb bitch.
And not done this shit. not got fucked up and dragged everyone out at 5:30. Someone could have just said, it's 5:30 in the morning.
Go back to bed.
What are you talking about?
Jesus.
When we wake up, maybe in the afternoon.
Maybe when you wake up at 9, you'll have a change of heart.
After fireworks, okay? How about that? Then Randy goes on to say, it's not completely over because I still have to go and do that until he dies, meaning going to Greg Smith's parole hearing in May
stop them?
Of that year.
Wow.
She said, I'm glad this part is over because I don't ever have to hear that she's got clemency or she's going to stay the rest of her remaining life in prison. She's got what the court handed down to her.
Brandy's the badass that Jim should have been.
Exactly.
God damn, she's awesome.
She got Jim's dick and balls.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
In the divorce, she gave him
to the son's ex-girlfriend's child. So Nadine was the last of 3 women on death row in Oklahoma. The other 2 were executed earlier in the year. We're cleaning out the broads, everybody. Let's go. Now, 8 women were arrested while protesting the execution.
Really?
Held on misdemeanor trespassing complaints after crossing a police line at the correctional center where she's being housed. Yeah. They're anti-death penalty protesters. They prayed by candlelight outside. Nearby, a group of victims advocates also stood by and had a vigil. One wore a T-shirt that said, the crime scene will return to normal. What about the victims?
Okay.
So everybody go home.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like either side of those.
No, exactly. Couple of stats here. She was the 63rd murderer executed in the United States in 2001.
Wow.
746th executed since 76 in the United States. 8th female murderer executed in the U.S. since 1976. 17th murderer executed in Oklahoma in 2001, 47th murderer to be executed in Oklahoma since 76, and the 3rd female murderer to be executed in Oklahoma since 76. So at that time, only 8 females had been executed in the whole country, and 3 of them had been from Oklahoma.
What is happening in Oklahoma?
Wow. Damn. So now the son.
Yeah.
Greg.
Oh, Greg.
He's serving his life sentence. He does not get out in 2001.
No?
Nope. He's at the Dick Connor Correctional Facility in Hominy.
Yeah.
But in 2009, gets out of jail on parole.
He's paroled.
He is paroled and goes right back to prison.
For what?
For possession of marijuana. Immediately back to prison.
The only time I've really been thankful for that law.
When you're on parole on a murder rap, maybe don't have weed on you at that point.
Maybe keep your fucking nose clean, you dipshit.
That's all. He's given 2 additional years for the weed here, and he's released again in April 2011.
Okay.
He gets out. By 2013, he's back in jail again.
Of course
he's arrested again. This is from an article. Behind bars Saturday, he is, the state gave his name, in Tahlequah, and another man was hospitalized after an argument escalated to a stabbing.
Oh, my, he's now stabbing people.
He's now getting in bar fights and stabbing people.
Wow.
James Gregory Smith, authorities allege Smith stabbed another man, David McDaniel, during a fight. According to the detectives, police were called to a local hospital Saturday night when McDaniel was treated for a stab wound to his upper chest. He's going for fucking organs.
Yeah.
The McDaniel told police he and Smith were arguing in the 600 block of Sooner Drive. At some point, McDaniel told Smith to leave. Smith did so, but he returned a few minutes later in his truck. A fight broke out after another confrontation, and Smith allegedly struck McDaniel in the chest before driving away. McDaniel told police he felt some pain and noticed his shirt was covered in blood.
Yeah.
Because he punched him with a knife.
He's a fucking chicken shit like his father.
They're all chicken shits.
He
his family.
leaves and then comes back with a weapon. You are a pussy,
and then doesn't even
bro.
I'm going to stab you. He acts like he's punching him.
Right.
So the detectives were called out to assist, and Smith was found later, stopped in his car and arrested. The blood was evident on one door of his vehicle, by the way. He had the fucking guy's blood on his car, which was towed and stored, obviously, for investigation. Graves, they said the detectives are working on a search warrant. They hope will allow them to collect DNA and all that kind of shit. No weapons discovered, but he's being held. And conflicting stories exist between Smith and witnesses to the fight, according to detectives. So he's back in jail.
Yeah.
Then 2014... Okay, he's out and back in again because at one point he's up for parole again in 2014, and a young lady named Alicia Mitchell started a change.org petition to keep him in jail. I'll just read it to you. Okay. In August of 2014, my mother, Kathleen, was put on a bus to another state through the domestic violence shelter in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, to get away from her ex-boyfriend, James Gregory Smith, who had assaulted her and threatened to kill her. On October 9, 2014, he located her whereabouts in Bozeman, Montana, and held her against her will. Over the last couple months, she had been beaten, terrorized, and her children's lives threatened. On December 5th, 2014, and we'll give you the details of this, she was able to call the police and have him arrested. Today, she was notified that they may not be able to get him on kidnapping, meaning her life is still in danger. He has active warrants for assault and battery in Cherokee County and has left the state, but yet his parole has not been violated. He was arrested and is still in jail in Montana and Oklahoma, still has not violated his parole. He and his mother kidnapped, tortured, and killed his ex-girlfriend in 1982. Seems as if this pattern is a norm for him, except my mother got lucky and was able to get away. But for how long? Help put this dangerous man where he belongs. Protect Oklahoma citizens from becoming another victim. I, as well as 2 of my mother's children and 3 grandchildren, are in danger from him. He won't stop until she is either dead or he is in prison for the rest of his life. Revoke his parole and extradite him back to Oklahoma. Domestic violence is a crime that cannot keep continuing to happen. This man will continue to harass, stalk, and beat her until she is dead. A restraining order is just a piece of paper to this guy. It will not stop him.
Yeah, he's terrible.
He's a fucking psychopath.
Yep.
Yeah, this is bad. People wrote under it their reasons for signing. One guy wrote in 2014, I came to know Greg as Scott Fain. So he had an alias. He's a fucking murderer, and Google exists in 2012. His girlfriend, Kathy, I knew as Kat. We met in a place I hang out in. He knew I was looking for a helper in the course of my work fixing houses. I had hired him on, and he worked out great. He then started to change. First, Kat would never be involved in any conversation. When she would say anything, he would start yelling at her to stay quiet. He became argumentative with me to the point I had to let him go. They stayed at my house due to inclement weather, and as they were living in a tent behind a gas station.
Oh my God!
He was living in a tent behind a gas station till the weather got so shitty he had to move in with his boss that fired him.
Oh boy!
Wow. A couple days later, my tires were slashed.
I wonder who did it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Word on the street is he was out to, quote, do me wrong, and I had the gut feeling he was going to hurt Kat sooner or later if someone did not intervene. Unfortunately, I did not know enough about them to do any good. I came to believe this man is extremely unbalanced and needs clinical help. I found out more about Greg, Scott, James, whoever, after he was locked up in our jail. Let me finish by saying he needs the authorities to take him back home before he hurts someone else or gets himself hurt. Now, Kathleen is that lady's mother's name. So, Kathy, Kat.
So he beats women too, just like Dad.
Yep. Another one said, I'm signing because he should never have gotten out. He's a monster, and what he and his mother did was horrible. He is showing that he is not rehabilitated. Put him back in jail. Another one said, I don't understand why this cruel man isn't back in prison where he belongs for the rest of his life. Mm-hmm. He's a danger to society, and he shouldn't have been granted parole in the first place after the murder he committed in 82. The petition was closed back then. Only had 129 supporters, by the way. It was a small town. It didn't get out. It didn't go...
That's almost everybody.
Viral. Yeah. So he wasn't in jail, and this is what he was doing, what she was talking about. James Gregory Smith, 50, a convicted Oklahoma murderer who's also wanted for warrants issued in Cherokee County, is being held for felony kidnapping and a misdemeanor charge of domestic assault. His bond is $250,000 in Montana. Uh-huh. According to a report published by the Bozeman Daily Chronicle, police in the community were dispatched to a motel last Friday where a woman called for help. Friday at about 9:15 p.m., Bozeman officers responded to an East Main Street motel after dispatchers received a call where a woman whispered, "Help me," and then hung up.
Oh, my God.
At the motel, officers found a woman who was extremely emotional. She's terrified.
Yeah.
She begged to be put inside a patrol vehicle. She just ran up and said, "Please put me in a cop car.
Yeah.
He can't get me in there."
Right.
You know, when the police found her, she claimed she had tried to flee from Greg in Colorado, but he tracked her down to Bozeman. He had been assaulting her, threatening to kill her, and had kept her prisoner in the motel room for 2 months.
What the fuck?
He has held her against her will in a motel room for 2 months, beating and tormenting her and threatening her.
The cops just kept her in the car, right?
But yeah, they kept her in the car. Yeah, they said they kept her there. Yeah, she was. She said she waited until he fell asleep this last time so she could call, and that's all. She was so fucking scared, even with him sleeping. All she could go is help me and fucking close it, and hopefully he didn't wake up. This woman's terrified for her life. That's crazy. The newspaper also reports Smith claimed he and the alleged victim were drunk when he was arrested and denies holding her captive. Mm-hmm. She's just drunk.
Booze.
She gets
this
all
booze talking.
She gets all accusey when she's a shit face.
She drinks 5/5. We call her whole vodka.
Whole mama. Call her whole mama. So the court records show that there was a bench warrant issued for him when he failed to appear in Cherokee County for court there. He was accused of stabbing another man in a fight. Fight. And he was, by the way, assault and battery with a deadly weapon is what he was charged for there.
And that's not kidnapping. Doesn't trigger the parole?
Apparently not. He also faced a string of other charges in Cherokee County, including assault and battery and possession of controlled dangerous substance in August of this year, driving under the influence, unlawful possession of paraphernalia, and open alcohol container in June of this year, and driving while impaired in May of 2014. Put him in fucking jail forever.
You can't in Oklahoma unless you kill a woman.
What the fuck is happening?
It's not fair, James.
This is dude. That's a violation.
You can't take a man's God-given right
to drink and drive and do drugs and beat his goddamn girlfriend. That's
James.
Freedom. What the fuck?
It's America.
Wow.
You get to do that.
What the fuck is happening? What's happening?
What does it take?
Put this man in jail.
What does it take?
Holy shit.
What dirt does he have on Dirt McGirt?
I mean, assault with a deadly weapon, possession and possession of a battery and possession of a controlled substance in August, driving under the influence, unlawful possession of paraphernalia, and open alcohol container in June. So those are separate.
What year?
2014.
What the fuck?
This is why that girl was saying, please don't let him out of jail when they arrested him again after this, because this was all the charges. And then driving while impaired in May, June, August. He all got arrested in all those fucking times.
Lock him up until those months never come again.
Wow. So the charges, they request $250,000 bail. They said the prosecutors are troubled by the previous murder conviction, calling it remarkably similar to his previous conviction, holding a woman in a fucking hotel room like that. Defense attorney requested that he be released on his own recognizance. Sure. He's clearly an upstanding citizen.
It was the booze.
It's just the booze talking. He denies holding the woman against her will and said that they were both highly intoxicated at the time of the arrest. He said that the two of them were working in the area and she's fine. In addition to, they say $250,000 bail and no contact with the woman. He must stay 1,500 feet away from her at all times. Kidnapping carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison and $50,000 fine, and a maximum of 1 year on the domestic assault charge. So he's back in prison after that. 2017, he's up for parole again.
Unreal.
Up for fucking parole. Parole.
Unreal.
How do you go before a parole board and go, I think I really got it this time? I know you let me out for murder and then put me back and then let me out and I stabbed a guy. And
I had a bad 90 days.
Listen, guys, I think I'm going to be okay this time. They say, get the fuck back there for a while longer. Are you kidding me? Then in 2021, there's a post that the woman who posted the initial
about Kathleen,
change.org, she posted again, and 2 years ago, parole denied again. He has been denied parole twice now. Hopefully he will continue to get denied. Please keep sharing and signing the petition so we can keep him behind bars for decades to come. We don't need this guy out there. He's scary bad man.
How long is his sentence now?
Don't know. Probably a while.
Decades to come. 30 years?
He probably got years and years, and you can get parole. And now in 2014, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. There's a drawing. Look at this here. I'm going to turn this fucking thing. Look at this drawing.
She looks so nice.
That's me, Nadine, in, what is it? That is drawn by Robert Prizeman.
She looks like a host of a cooking show.
She's smiley, looks great. He's a British man named Robert Priseman. He made it in 2014. It is 15 by 18 centimeters without the frame.
Yeah.
It's a drawing, graphite on paper, so it's a pencil drawing.
Why did he draw it?
It is in and this nothing screams Florida more than this, the Florida State Museum of Fine Arts in Tallahassee. A fucking pencil drawing of a goddamn murderer. They put that in their fucking MoMA there. MoFA.
Does he just does he just draw murderers that were executed?
Some British guy's cocktail napkin pencil drawing.
Trying to impress some gal that he met on Bumble?
Florida said, we got a museum for things like that up in Tallahassee.
Is that trampoline neck jumping broad?
It's good.
Shit damn.
It's this. There's a Mr. Potato Head and Ted Bundy once put together, and a sculpted silly putty from a girl who once sucked off the Green River Killer. We got all these things here for you.
She rolled that silly putty into his penis.
No shit, and that's there. So if you want to go down to Tallahassee, you can see this. And that, everybody, is Gans, Oklahoma.
What a town.
And a fucking crazy case.
Wow.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
Poor Cindy, and we can't say poor Cindy enough.
No.
That was no way for anybody to go out.
Why?
I mean,
why would they?
Except for maybe Greg.
Yeah.
Other than him, I can't think of anyone I really want to do that. So if you like that show, tell everyone about it.
Please do.
Get on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. It helps. I don't know why, but it helps drive us up the charts. So thank you for doing that for us. We appreciate it. Follow us on social media at Small Town Murder on Instagram, Murder Small on Twitter, Small Town Pod on Facebook.
You know it is.
Listen to our new show.
Hey!
Your Stupid Opinions.
What
it's
a show.
Goddamn
what
funny.
A show.
It's so funny. If you give us 15 minutes, you'll be hooked forever. We'll put it that way. Every Monday morning, 15. If we've given you all this murder, 15 minutes is what we ask, and you'll be hooked.
Need to listen
and
to.
Tell your friends. Spread that too, because it's a new show, so we're trying to spread it. Also, listen to Crime and Sports. It's still around. It's still wild.
Still doing great.
It's still crazy. So listen to that. Check it out. Do that. Definitely get your tickets for the virtual live show. If you're sometime in the October the 26th and a week after that window, you can still buy it right now. Get it, watch it, and we'll have costumes on. It'll be a crazy Halloween story. You got to see this guy. Wow, is the most disturbing man ever, and we got pictures and everything, and it's wild stuff. So get that. That's shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live.
What else?
And then get your tickets at shutupandgivememurder.com to Dallas, December the 2nd.
Right.
Still a few tickets there. Get your tickets there right away. And we've heard there's something weird with the website.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is, but you can get them.
Yeah. Keep working on it.
Over 1,000
Keep
people
trying.
have bought tickets, so you can get tickets. So trust me, it's possible. So get your tickets there. Do that. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all the bonus material.
It's good stuff.
Good stuff. It's all good stuff. And anybody $5 or above, you are going to get everything. You're the whole bonus
Kit and caboodle, James.
couple hundred episodes to binge on of bonus stuff that's never been available anywhere but Patreon. And then, of course, new episodes every other week. We don't stop. We don't slow down. You're paying for this. Jesus, we're going to give you the good stuff here. And for this, what you get is 1 crime in sports, 1 small town murder. This week, what you get for crime in sports, which you'll have access to. Another part of, because we did one part a few months ago, athletes who enjoy paying for sex.
Boy, do they love it.
And we know they're all tales of them getting caught, because we wouldn't know it happened unless they got caught.
I'm not above it. I'm just not getting caught.
They're not getting caught. And then for small town murder, we're going to go back to the serial killer from Manhattan, Montana we had a while back, a few weeks ago, David Meyerhofer. We're going to get to his confession, because he sat down, gave it all up, and then went into his cell and strung himself up and he offed himself. So he let it all out. We're going to talk about what a guy who kills that many people and children and women and everything else. We're going to hear what he has to say. That's patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all that, and a shout out.
You betcha.
Where Jimmie will mispronounce your name, even though he wants to get it right. And when does that shout out happen?
I
think it's right goddamn now. Let's, please, Jimmie, hit me with the list of the names of the people who we would never put the word mean before. Jimmie, hit me with them right now.
This week's executive producer is Simon Shedd, who just became a Canadian citizen. Congrats,
Ooh, look at you
Simon.
with that
Good for
English
you.
accent.
Eric Rodriguez, Susan Sobasinski, Kyle Norwig, and a 64-ounce bottle of ketchup. Annette Hollywood, Becky Visser, and Marie Storham. Thank you all so much for what you're doing. You're fucking incredible. She'll storm for you. Other producers this week are Spalding Smales, Snicker Bar, Jerry's cousin Jeffrey at Parks and Rec, Peyton Meadows.
Jeffrey.
Obviously.
Works for the Parks Department.
Happy birthday, Jeffrey. I don't know.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Boone. A person named Boone.
Boone.
It's his birthday, her birthday, their birthday, somebody's birthday.
Happy
Good for you,
birthday
Boone.
to Boone.
Janice Hill, Joe Mitchell's face pubes, Skeet Spiller, Nathan at Gold Standard Maintenance, and everybody at Gold Standard Maintenance. Thank you so much for what you're doing, wherever the hell you're at. Brenda Liz, Olivia Keogh, Cassidy Jones, Anna Cattouse, Cassadia and Jones, please.
With cheese. Thank you.
Anna Kautza, Allison Weiss, Erica Tarnacki has 2 patrons. I imagine they are one's for somebody else. Christy Petanuda, or she just loves buying things over and over.
She just likes it. It's
multiple times. Feels good.
We don't discourage.
Luke Cox, Hunter Van Landingham, the Spam Man, Nasa Daly, Bongo with no last name, Paula with no last name, Benjamin Griswold, Taylor with no last name, Megan McIver, that's all right.
McIver.
Yeah, Esther Marie Rico, Liza, Attilasoy, Dave R, Chris K, Ben Stewart, Cindy Vanden Boss, Austin with no last name, Charles Davis, Shara Crocker, Mandy Jones, Moo Jack, Meredith Howley, maybe Hale, Christina Lavazza, Suzanne Jacobs, Jennifer Hunt, Blake Price, Brandon Coutant. Poutant? What?
Poutant.
It's Coutant. Coutant?
My grandmother would go, ma puttana.
Yeah. Brandon Alsop, John Forrest, Junkie Monkey, Joni Rousseau, Brent Blankenship, Grim 79, Benny Mamone, Mamone, Jack Dicker, all right, Ashley Childers, Raymond Stalker, Shama with no last name, Stephanie Henderson, TJ, Garrett Shockley, Stephanie Colvin Covington, Katie Dobrinska. Oh, boy. Sarah Mitch, Kate Salvatore, Christopher Herndon, Mary Jo Dam Strong, Vic Salvatore, Scott McAllister, PJEB, Susan with no last name, Jesse B, Caliburge, Sarah Barnhart, David Askew, Timothy Burleson, Christopher Adams, Cheryl Marie, Michelle Lehman, Joshua Chandler, Garrison Ford, what? It's a good name.
Sounds like a senator in the 1800s.
Or like Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I was going to say, sounds like somebody who's giving the speech of why Alabama's seceding from the Union.
Garrison Ford.
Senator Garrison Ford will represent us now.
Of Alabama.
And he starts talking about...
Oh, boy. Horrible things. Eric Black, Austin Martin, Laura Benz, Kayla J., Alexi Del Rosario, Juan with no last name, Caitlin Elmer, Bio Hellhound HD, Sprinkles on the Cake, Kate Topcock, Annie with no last name, Elizabeth Trapp, David Garcia, Gabrielle, Faulkner, Will with no last name, Haley with no last name, Trudy Talborg, Parker Henry, Say Moose 2, Gabe Gassman, Austin Owens, Jamie Hammer, Iselin, Angelia Hausa Salverson. Fucking hell. Kirk the Turk. Cynthia Whitlock, Danielle Patton, maybe Daniel Patton. I don't know which one it is. It's Danyel. Is that, never seen that?
I've never
is
seen
that Danielle
that either.
Or is that Daniel? What are we doing there? I can't tell you.
Danielle.
It's got to be Danielle, right?
I think it is.
Y makes yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a yell. I would if you said spell Danielle weird, I'd spell it like that.
I'd put 2 L's maybe.
Make it happen. I go, okay, I guess like that.
Lindsay Bowley, Valentine Madrigal, Dennis Desgrosiers,
Disgraziad.
Denise Dennis Disgrazia.
Disgraziad.
Absent-minded. Melissa Wainwood, Travis Brimner, Law Lee, Melissa Martin, Ziggy E, Kyle Garner, Emily McKenzie, Corey Thorstensen, Matt Sandage, Kristen Hoffman, Maddie Springer, Hannah Peters, Susan Turner, Anna Costello, Nick with no last name, Luke Goldsberry, Benny with no last name, Matthew Jaliski, Corey with no last name, Kim Bagley, Coy Stevens, Adrian Jorgensen, Valerie Woods, Kelly Saxey, Susan with no last name, Sarah with no last name, Ruby Soho, Tiffany Uda Gingia, Cameron Attaway, Shayna Fennessy, Ryan Adams, Mark McClellan, Anna Thiessen, Tiffany Amber's sister.
Obviously.
That's right.
And Ryan Adams with all of his albums. He's got $5 to throw at us.
Guy's a great guy. He's
so
got
many
so much
albums.
money.
So
Caitlin
much money.
Kay, Justine Locker, Lisa with no last name, Adam with no last name, Kimberly Davis, Anthony Manzella, Jeff Miller, Matthew Cabrera, yes, Sandra
little
Fellows.
brother.
He's a good dude. He really
Again,
is. He's
tons of cash.
big
Right
fan.
now.
Melissa Perry, Brooke
Katie's
Brady,
sister also.
Allison Hall,
Tom's son.
Declan Horace. I dare you to find a Horace.
I don't know that one. There's Anthony Michael's sister on the other one, and then there's one.
Chelsea Crum, Harry's kid. Davey Toledo.
She knows who Harry Crumb is.
Sean Jernigan. Brian Dalton, Stelly Ford, Ellie Elder, Brandy Akins, Vanessa with no last name, Daniel Smith, Megan Messias, Gary Brown, and all of our patrons. You're phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you, you crazy, wonderful, amazing jive turkey bastards. We love you. We love you. We love you. Let's go out boogieing turkeys and hang out. You want to follow either of us, easy to do that on social media. You can go to shutupandgivememurder.com. There's a list with all that stuff. Boom, boom, links to it. Follow us. Keep doing it. Keep coming back. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure. If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.